Hey everyone, this is Nathan from Bad Dinner Guests. Welcome to this drunk round table we got going on here. I'm joined with, you guys know RJ and Kevin, but we have two special guests, two personal close friends of me. I got Lucas, who has been on for some shadow play and some other Bad Dinner Guest stuff. And we have Garrett, first time on the show here. So why don't you guys introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, we'll just throw the show right to Garrett and Lucas, who have never been.
Maybe don't even pick one.
Will you run the show for us?
You guys go ahead and pick which one goes first.
Hey, I was just saying, introduce themselves a little bit here.
Hey, we're all about sausage making here, so we're just gonna critique live. We're just gonna say, hey, if you're gonna pass the baton, don't just throw it up in the air and say,
all right.
It's like a game of 500 out here. Jackpot, dead or alive. Lucas, Garrett, go.
All right, so
now.
here's a figurative baton passing to Lucas to introduce himself a little bit.
You reached really close to his crotch.
I did.
It was a little too close for me.
I wanted a handful of sausage since we're talking about it.
Alrighty, well, if you guys have listened to any of the MLB shows in the past few weeks, you've heard Nathan and I blabber on about that. And if you go further back in the archives to the Shadow Play, you found me on there. But anyways, my name is Lucas, and glad to be chatting it up with a couple of fine fellows in this afternoon before we go to a concert.
All right, Garrett, maybe introduce yourself a little bit.
Welcome, Lucas. Also,
what do you want to
thank
know?
you.
Just give a little tidbit there about yourself, what you're into, maybe.
Okay. Likes, dislikes, turn-offs, turn-ons.
Like titties.
Explains how.
Well, I lost that bet. We had an over/under going, and I took the heat on my
taste. I don't know what direction you want me to go with this.
Kevin and RJ here.
I'm a libertarian.
Well, that too, but he also is like Sean in the sense that it all comes back to sex in one way or another.
That is very true.
We are going to get along just fine then.
Very true.
It always comes back to sex. So how many sausages can you hold in your hand? Lucas didn't answer that. He got out easy on the question. He's smirking over there about it. But no, Lucas. It's Garrett's turn now. Garrett, how many sausages?
I am unsure.
How are you unsure?
Just to give you an idea here, when I played,
I have very small hands, so I imagine not very many.
Probably 4 or 5, I bet.
Well, with that attitude.
You guys are from Illinois, right?
Indiana.
Okay,
I don't know why you do that. It's so insulting to us that
why
are from
do you keep
Indiana.
Thinking Illinois?
You can't remember we're from Indiana.
I wonder how many seasons of BDG I can make it through just constantly.
You literally are the only person originally from Ohio in this room right now.
Am I?
In the room right now, yeah. But also, for the record, I was born in Tennessee. I just happened to trip and fall in Indiana, and it took me 9 years to get up.
Okay. Well, that's why
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a long.
I've been there 20. That's more unfortunate.
Yeah. That's a long spell, man.
It is.
That's why you switched to Velcro shoes.
What the fuck?
So I quit tripping.
But how? So I described Garrett as Sean, basically bringing it back to sex, just to use as an example because I find this hilarious as fuck.
I feel like Nate really wants to talk about sex today.
I sent him a Snapchat.
This is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be a disclaimer on me.
I sent him a Snapchat of a record playing, and he described it as 2 electronic owls fucking.
I'm sorry, that's what it sounded like. Nate listens to some weird shit.
So you did listen to the guest last week then?
No, it wasn't that.
I'm
assuming you guys know him. That he's from the same area.
I get what he's saying though. Nate listens to some robot fight kind of stuff. Like
right?
He listens to some music that makes you think that the Transformers are going to do a Kool-Aid Man through your bedroom wall. And just be like, oh shit, are we not supposed to be here?
That's if you're fucking lucky and he's playing not horrible shit.
Hey, fuck off.
You should hear his dad fucking condemn all of Nate's
only
musical
time I can
choices.
listen to Nate's music is if I'm under the influence of a hallucinogenic drug. Otherwise, it's fucked.
Or if you're drunker than
He played
fuck,
a
it's not
song
bad.
today that was fucking an hour and 30 minutes long.
Hour and 3 minutes, but still.
Did you play all of it?
No, I only played 10 minutes of it.
Only 10 minutes of
And
the
there,
song.
no
song-
vocals.
Said
no
no
vocals.
one ever.
Well,
It was like the same guitar riff for 10 minutes.
It had vocals after about 8 minutes.
Who was it? Iron Butterfly?
No, it was.
Well,
that
it
had,
still
like,
had
the-
fucking 50 minutes of
No,
Who the fuck knows what
the
else?
song was "Dope Smoker" by Sleep. So
There's so many
stoner
jokes there, and
metal.
I'm really mad at myself for not being able to make a single one. But oh well, it happens.
You'll never find it on Billboard.
No,
No.
probably not.
No.
To be real.
I don't know. How would you cut an hour-long song into like a 4-minute
Where do
radio?
you find your music, Nate? Like
Okay,
in the back of
so-
Hustler. Like,
So-
Question, Garrett.
The back
Excellent
of an
fucking
alley.
question. I've asked myself that.
Craigslist.
So
Gas
I'll just give you
stations.
a story here of how I found this. So I found that listening to the Electric Wizard Pandora station.
Electronic house fucking.
Well, no, Electric Wizard is doom metal, man. We had this conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then that was from Swans, and I found out about Swans from our guest last week, Kyle, because he's a big fan of Swans, and we actually went to a Swans concert last year. So that's how I. That's how I.
Swans.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that hates how many fucking genres there are now? Like that came
Oh, dude,
before all the
yes.
gender identities, and I think it might have led kind of to the cause. But it went from there's like 6 different
That's
genres
a brilliant
of
point.
music to like there's 400 genres of music, and now we all fucking found our little niche.
Yeah,
So now
there
we
can
gotta
only be
like.
so many fucking
Hey,
snowflakes, for God's sake.
Hey, but to be fair though, I mean these subgenres of I'm just gonna use metal as an example, like doom metal and sludge metal. You gotta, they're kind of similar, but they have different parts to it that make it whatever it is.
I can attest to what Nate's saying. I've been on enough road trips to be able to, if he's like, this one's sludge metal, this one's German fucking metal, I would be able to, there's some distinguishable, traits to each of these. So I do see what he's saying.
I don't disagree.
I
But
get what
there's-
you're saying though.
There's
RJ.
also like little traits that make you like maybe blondes and him brunettes, and we don't call you a
That's true,
brunette
by the way.
based straight guy. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah, there's a little too much
What
classification.
are you
it's
looking
something to
up here,
argue
Kevin?
about, I guess, which is cool. But
What are you looking
I
up?
was looking up the 10 essential sludge metal bands because I thought
Is
it would
Melvin's on there?
be. I don't know.
The 10
you
essential
interrupted
sludge.
me
Nate
while I
starts
was,
making
while I
There's
was
lists.
looking
actually
for it.
Osborne on there.
he's
on one of the
worried that
slides.
you might miss his article and pick up somebody else's. Is the big thing.
To be fair though,
They've all been written. They're all written
Black
by Nate.
Sabbath has created various subgenres of metal.
Amen. That's true.
So, I'm just curious this list here, Kevin. You should tell everybody.
Oh,
what this
your
list-
sweethearts, the Melvins,
Oh
are right.
my
Oh
God.
fuck yeah!
All right,
Woohoo!
hey, we need somebody to go grab a rag out of the kitchen because Nate just had an accident
Yeah,
over the Melvins.
all that's on the good furniture too. Like, why can't you be sitting in a folding chair or something? We're gonna get you a mat like we have for Newt Dog over here.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Give you a Melvins t-shirt to clean up with.
I don't have a Melvin's t-shirt, so I'm okay with that.
I know
Would
nothing
you-
about the Melvins.
You would take a Melvins t-shirt if it wasn't if someone else like if that was the only way you could get it.
Oh, probably
Like if somebody
not.
was like, "Hey man, I have this old Melvins t-shirt I don't wear anymore because I normally just come in it, but you can have it for free
Oh,
if
no,
you want."
no, not
Would
that.
you take
No,
that and then
no.
wash it?
You would at least hang it up.
The big question
No.
is if the Melvins came on this T-shirt, would you wash it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
God.
gross.
Okay.
But hey, you know what? I keep bugging. Well, I bugged you one time to go to a Melvin's concert with me, which is coming up. So
It's good,
You know.
man. It's good shit.
who knows if that'll happen?
Well, I mean, yeah, you really sold it when you were like, you want to go listen to some sludge metal.
Crickets.
See, exactly. That's exactly. That's
The
reaction
response.
you get.
Crickets.
Hey, you know what though? If you like Nirvana and Alice in Chains, Pearl
True,
Jam,
I
all
listened
that,
to it.
That's
I
how you
mean-
ask the question. You go, hey, do you like Nirvana and Alice in Chains? Yeah, man, I kind of like them. Hey, you want to go to a show? That's a lot more descriptive than do you want to go see some sludge metal, this genre that I just made up. Like,
I think sludge metal. I think of just like '50s greasers, like guys with white T-shirts on and their cigarette pack rolled up in their sleeve, but then they walk up to the microphone and it's they're playing like at sock hops.
is Garrett in the Melvins? Did we just offend him? Is that what happened there?
No, he's got to go take a leak or some shit.
Status report. This is see, this is what happens when you have a 24-hour news cycle. Yeah, you find out when people are going to the bathroom and
Oh,
stuff.
don't even get me started on that shit, man.
You get yourself started. I didn't get you started. All I did was mention something.
I really feel like guys into sludge metal are probably self-starters. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
And also dry guys.
No, I just 24-hour news cycle. I mean,
I Hate God was number 2.
Start talking about?
actually, I do like I Hate God. It's actually pleasant to listen to.
Grief.
I don't know who that is.
Down.
That's a super group with one person from Pantera.
Neuroses. Look at you, just know all of this stuff. I was hoping to just get some funny names out of it. Nate's like, well, actually, this guy split off from the Woolly Mammoths in '78, and he recorded an completely solo episode in
Sean,
his basement garage.
The Woolly Mammoths broke up in '76. Okay. I called you Sean.
Yeah, man.
Kevin. That's what's funny though. That
Shout
chick
out to
last
Sean
night.
B.
To like not to butt in, but that chick last night got super offended. I don't remember her name.
Well, also,
Like I've been sitting in rooms with my friends and blanked out on what their fucking name is. Like friends for years, and I'm just sitting in a room like, what the? I don't know. I'm gonna call him dude.
let's discuss that for a second, though, guys. I want your opinion on this because I kind of see where she was coming from. Here's where RJ failed was in the setup. He's introducing me to this girl that he's been talking to. Not like in that sense, but like he was texting. This was how we knew where to go. We went to a comedy show last night, and how we knew how to get there. He was texting this girl, asking her for directions or whatever. And so when he introduces her to me, his move was, how do you pronounce your name again? I don't want to get it wrong. Basically told her to introduce herself to me, but his move was, I can't remember how, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, so say it to Kevin on your own. And she immediately called him out and was like, you don't remember my name.
Here's what's
Exactly.
fucked up.
I've seen this one from Seinfeld before. It was a good call. I appreciate the effort, but
Here's
she was
what's
too
fucked
smart.
up though is she gave me the look to introduce her, and that's what pissed me off. Is
to
like
be fair,
she put me on the spot,
like,
non-verbally, not
that's
pissing off.
no effort introducing right there.
Well, there was some effort. I mean,
There was effort, Nate. There
yeah,
was
I don't
effort.
know. I respected her enough to know that I should know her name, and I felt bad about it. So
Yes,
I
he
like,
tried to figure it out.
and I knew her name, which is Walta. I knew it was like a different name. It's not like
Is she Polish?
Dave or something. You know what I mean?
Sure,
So there
it's
was
a little
like
bit out there.
there was a really good likelihood that like it might be, hard to
she
pronounce, or it could have
Polish?
even like Catherine. You could be like, oh, I didn't know if it was Catherine or Catherine or
So, are there any other ways you could have gone about this? That's another.
Yeah,
I
what
really-
were his other options, guys? Like, what would you do if you can't remember someone's
I
name?
thought about this.
Like,
You
and
should
it's
go up
and
to-
it's
you
you're
should-
you're trying.
Honesty.
Yeah.
Here's what you can do. You can have your friend go up to you. This could be a working method actually. So you could go up with your friend to meet her and say, "This is," and then have them say their name, and then have the other person kind of do the same to their friend.
Or you could even go like full stealth mode and go recon and say if I'm out with Nate and he can't remember the name of his Tinder match,
Sure.
he can just send me over to bump into her, and I can just kind of be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can just be a little blunt, get her name. It doesn't matter if it's a terrible exchange or not. All I need is the name.
Yeah.
And then I go back and report to Nate, and then 10 minutes later he
None of
texts
this
her
was
and he's like,
possible.
hey, I showed up. Oh no, I'm just
None of this was possible.
Yeah, none of that was possible.
I had to look up her name on Messenger. I had just remembered her name like 4 minutes prior and had to remember it to send her a message. And then she came over and I blanked the fuck out.
But why can't you
silence
just be
is
honest,
like, no.
man?
Because again, I knew I should remember it and I felt bad.
Just-
And honest is a
Honesty's
good
the
policy.
best
I
policy.
was 3 sheets to the wind, like to the point where we were Ubering around. And
Selective
I
honesty.
should
Three
have been quiet.
sheets to the wind.
Fair enough,
Excellent.
Grant.
I
Yep.
never heard that.
Selective honesty.
And it is. It's selective honesty, and it's also just you got to pick your battle.
I
Like, if
should've
you're-
kept quiet.
If you were gonna, where you were at, honesty was better than the lie that you told. Right? It would have been better just to legit say, "Hey, I'm blanking," other than I don't remember how to pronounce it. I could spell it for you if you gave me. I swear to God, if you gave me a pen. You see what I'm saying? Like your excuse wasn't fooling anybody.
No.
So then it
Well-
just comes off as a bad move because she's like, I know you just don't remember my name.
And
Just
hey,
fucking say you don't remember my name.
and to
Yeah.
be fair, even if you want to lie in that situation, like for example, and Lucas knows this, Garrett knows a little bit. I fucking suck with
Name dropper.
pronunciation.
Oh, he's the fucking worst.
I'm
He tried
terrible
to
at
pronounce
You don't
Chicago
need to-
Cubs former super stud reliever Koji Uehara. What do you call him? Nate?
Koji Uehara.
No, you call him Uehari or some shit. That's completely off, and you know it.
So my point is, like, you can use that as an excuse if you want to lie and say, like, hey, I'm terrible with pronunciation.
I tried that. You're telling me to do what I did.
But
Hey,
That's
it doesn't
exactly what
pronounce
the
your
fucking
name.
plan was, bud.
It doesn't
Yeah,
sound
Nate.
like you're starting off with it, though.
Where that is
Exactly.
exact-
That's my drunk ass didn't even think about it. It went right there. It's like
Nate, if I had a penalty flag, I would throw it at you. That's what we need. We need a little
here's
yellow
what I
flags.
see of the situation. If I'm honestly going to, make some sort of moral out of the story, basically, as young guys that try to do well with girls, it's doesn't always work out. That's what I'm going to say. Everyone has experienced this in
accurate.
some form, whether you got it good now or whatever. But we always try to do the right things, and you think as long as the process is good, it doesn't matter about the results. But still, it can backfire, and it doesn't feel good.
That the moral of the story is it can backfire.
Well, no matter what, even if you're doing the right process, even if the results don't work, you should still feel good. But it's hard to do that sometimes. Is my point.
My
I thought your plan
for
was
me,
good, basically, but it just didn't work out. Is the way I see it.
my advice would be just give one fuck less, and then you just be like, yeah, I don't really. It would have been more of a turn on for him to be like, oh, he doesn't even fucking
She
care
knew I
about what my
wasn't
name
true.
is.
That's a good
That's
point.
the
Like,
other
oh
thing.
shit, like why doesn't he want to remember my name?
Every
You're
time
right.
she's
I'll
met
make
me,
him remember my name.
I've been with the
Exactly
same
right.
Been
chick.
better off just
Give her the
going.
challenge instead of throwing her
I'll
the
make him
bone.
remember my name.
You actually there was an opportunity there. That's what all I'm saying.
One of the
is-
reasons I didn't understand why she got so offended is because she knew I wasn't trying to like get with her. That's like
that's a big assumption to make. I
That's
think
a big
most girls
assumption to
out
make.
at a bar
she-
assume
every
that
time she's
guys
ever
are trying to
seen,
fuck them.
every time she's ever seen me until that
No,
night, I go
right.
with the chick, the same chick.
Well,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That is-
right.
That is excellent evidence to back your point.
I don't know. I've never tried picking up a chick at a comedy club just in that group ever. It just didn't
Yeah,
seem
especially
like.
with multiple people in the mix, not necessarily where it's going to happen.
I've also never been to any social drinking event, looked around a room and thought there's not one dude in here that's going to try to get laid tonight.
That's very fair.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? Just because you never tried to pick somebody up at a comedy show doesn't mean that 80% of the dudes at the comedy show are trying. I mean, 80% of the comedians
That's
at
true.
that comedy show were like, hey, I haven't been laid in a long time. I'll be out in the parking lot. You want to buy me a drink? I'll suck you off, whatever. Like they were, most of the acts out there were pretty thirsty. So I don't think it would be a fair guess for anyone there to assume that somebody was trying to get picked up.
Well,
But-
the thing of the matter is that even though he might think that, the girl knows that most guys are after that, and most
And she is
situations,
right,
so
yeah.
she assumes 100% of them.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like I need to take a full Saturday off and come here, and then we can go out on a Saturday instead of doing Sundays.
Sticky icky ooh, ooh.
Because we go out on Sundays, and it doesn't sound like we have too many crazy stories compared to this. Not that this is
you
crazy.
should tonight.
That's for
I
damn
mean, I
sure.
You
would,
went
but
out there-
there's various reasons why that can't happen.
Standing in line to see the show tonight.
There's bathrooms there.
There'd be a light on. Heavy glow. I'm just gonna keep going.
Now, have you guys ever? 'cause
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Have you guys ever like just said the wrong thing when you're like talking to a chick at a bar or like
Yes.
anywhere and you're like trying and you just realize as it's leaving your mouth like, God damn, I don't know why I just said that, and you're like, it's over. I should just turn around and walk away. Like this is.
Yeah.
Is there like one that sticks out?
You know,
in your
to
mind?
be fair though, there was one time where I could have fucking said just about anything, and it would have worked out anyway. And
But
Kevin
you-
was there for that
but
one.
you
Name
fu-
dropper.
Yeah, okay. I
Hey,
see
to
it.
be fair, she wanted more drugs, so
Well, that's usually a good way to get what
That's
you
a
need,
prostitute,
right?
sir.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
she was a stripper. So.
My
Oh,
theory
okay.
my theory
Hey,
on
I'm not busting on you. I'm not busting on you at all.
if anything it's a compliment, but my theory on that is
I party
every
with strippers. Or I
right?
have.
It's a coming of age thing at some point. Like
Yeah.
to get your wings, you have to be out behind a strip club passing a cigarette around with
yes,
with the
I
dancers.
did that
Yeah.
my senior year. This fucking senior trip.
Was
They
that
all-
at Night Moves?
No,
American
sir.
number
No,
Okay,
sir.
that was.
We went to Kentucky for this. We went to Louisville.
You can hear
But
Newt
my
tap
senior year,
dancing.
they always took the senior trip to fucking Holiday World. And fuck that. I've been to Holiday World a billion times.
I'll take one.
What are we doing?
Holiday World.
Okay.
12
yeah.
times.
Yeah, fuck that. So me and a couple of buddies said, fuck it. We're going to the fucking titty bar instead.
Yes.
And so that's what the fuck we did. The night before, we just fucking skipped the trip, never signed up, never did any of that shit, paid any money, just fucking skipped the whole day of school, and just went out that night, the night before, and just went to the titty bar all fucking night. I actually got a blowjob for $4 from one of the strippers.
Oh.
A $4 blowjob.
You're goddamn right. I negotiated that fucking thing. I'd blown all my money, and
Dude,
she was.
You negotiated it to $4.
Yeah, it
Garrett.
started at 40. I said,
Garrett.
"Oh, I got
She
4."
is a lot lizard. Like that's lot lizard territory.
But also-
Don't
right
worry,
there.
don't worry. I was a gentleman. I wore a strawberry chocolate flavored condom.
There
Still,
it
No
is.
still
diseases.
lot
Fellas.
lizard.
I'm safe. I'm clean.
I went on the
$4
beer run.
blowjob. Dude, that's the best money
$4.
ever
Yeah.
spent.
Oh yeah, that's the most efficient. Yeah.
What it- what it-
Absolutely. I have a follow-up question. Actually, this is for all of us though.
Many follow-up questions.
So many follow-up questions. I'm just
Damn.
getting in there first. Reference normally though. Other in your situation, I completely understand using a flavored condom because you're getting a $4 blowjob. You should have good job, good on you having the condom.
Yeah, that's
in
rule
general
number one.
though.
No
Risk
disease.
management 101.
In general though, would you guys like? Was anyone here? Because I have a feeling like I've passed on a blowjob before because a condom was mandatory, and I said, well, that's really against the point for me. So where do the rest of us stand on that? Again, given your
Depends on how
situation,
long I
Garrett.
know.
Right.
By the way, let it that not set the precedent for like how well I do women. Precedent
I
for
have
how
so
well
many
I do with women.
questions for him
Nate,
after we get
Nate
off
and
this.
Lucas actually have met one of my girlfriends.
I've turned
that
down
was pretty fucking hot.
non-condom required blowjobs, so a condom
I can
required
attest to
blowjob is
that.
definitely a
you go.
no. Like if that.
I
So-
want to
to-
approach
to give you
Garrett
my
about
question-
writing his memoirs later.
To give
Yeah.
you an answer to the question, it has been counterproductive at times.
Yeah. Okay. So because that's what the gist of what RJ said was the same thing, right? You'll turn down any kind of blowjob, so of course you would
Not
probably
any
turn
kind,
down.
but like I'm willing to with like yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, yeah,
It
you're
depends on how
willing.
long I know her. If I just met her and I'm not sure, you're like
You'll offer $4. I have a question though. Is the condom included? The cost of that condom? Did you get it like at the little coin operator thing in the bathroom?
No. I just had it in my
Oh,
truck.
okay. Did you? So it was like a $4.50 like
Oh,
blowjob,
okay.
really? If you like account cost.
Well, no. Because actually, the best part is my buddy gave me a bunch of those fucking flavored rubbers for free. He was laughing.
Oh,
There it
flavored
was.
rubbers.
Yeah,
What
he
a
was
dude.
like, dude, check this shit out. Try to get chicks to use these. He's like, they love them, and he just gave me a bunch of them, and I just so happened to have one, and I drove down there, and I fucking dollar bills, y'all, all night,
Now,
and then I was down to $4. She asked me if I was a cop, and then we negotiated from $40
I
to
feel like
$4.
she just wanted to suck a dick.
I think
the
Warren-
money was like an afterthought.
Listen-
If she's
Warren
willing to
Buffett-
do it,
Listen.
she was like, "I want to suck
That's
a dick."
fine.
Hey, $40 on top of it.
RJ,
Would be
maybe
fine.
I'm glad.
hey,
I'm
maybe
glad.
she knew that. Did she know you were, still high school age there, maybe, and just wanted to give you a little taste so you
Probably
come back?
because there was a 40-year-old woman in there, like, making some comments about that. That was,
Fair enough.
yeah. I got some up close and personal.
Yeah, you
That's what I'm
might,
saying,
you might
like-
have been part of a
And
bucket
I-
list
yeah.
situation.
Yeah, she's like, "This high school."
you a virgin
$4
at
was
this time?
just dessert.
No,
Because maybe that was a.
no,
never mind.
no, sir. I was 18.
Sometimes like somebody at
Hey,
rock bottom
Lucas
wants
was
to
a virgin
be
until he
somebody
was
else's
20.
rock bottom.
Dude, it happens.
I'm just
Completely
kidding.
fucking false.
I know. I was just kidding, man.
I'm glad he got in
Yeah,
there.
no, it was. Actually, dude, you want to know something funny? She fucking followed me on Instagram like a month ago.
Nate's mom?
No,
That's what I'm saying. I think
Oh,
Hey, my
I don't
mom's
think
Happy
a
I say
Mother's
saint.
I can
Day.
show
My
you
mom's a
this woman.
saint, and you know it.
Dorothy Mantooth?
His mom makes beer runs for Nate to get 3 beers for $40.
Mary Magdalene was a saint. She was also a hoe. It don't mean shit.
Hey,
No,
I
I
get,
do. I
I get the employee discount at my mom's liquor store, so you know what? I'll take it.
He buys his Floyd division beers.
Oh, dude, yeah. So
Flow Division?
So it's a Joy it's a Joy Division themed beer.
No,
but it's
it-
from my
nuh-uh.
favorite. I swear to fucking God, I'll show you
No.
a picture, man.
Album covers exactly like the beer cover and everything.
It's
So
called.
you have an Instagram.
and
Would
it's
you
called
be willing
Boy
to put this
Division?
Instagram picture
Floyd.
up on our?
Division.
don't want the name. I'm gonna keep this.
But you would you put it?
keep this anonymous.
So
I'm
without
not
the
trying
name,
to
if we
ruin
could get
this
the
young
picture up on
lady's
the-
life that she fucking sucked a dick
this
for
lady's
$4.
life is ruined already if she's sucking your dick for $4.
Dude,
I was hoping
listen,
we could show
listen.
the viewers
I'm a nice guy.
somebody that's.
I'm a nice guy. I don't.
Can we see her
You
and
can.
rate her?
You can.
Can we see a picture of her? And
As
all-
long as we don't mention the name, I have a picture right here.
no names.
yeah.
As long.
See, hey,
That's a
they
motherfucking
always do that stuff to me too, man. They always
Wow.
name drop.
Can we
on
pass
me
this
all
around the
time.
round table?
Yes, I'm telling you, for $4,
Wow.
that is
You got
the
your
greatest
money's worth and then
$4
some.
I've ever
Yeah,
spent.
yeah, you did okay for $4. That's, I mean, the next best thing for $4 you could get is at Wendy's, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah,
really good.
That's what I was saying.
That's
You know
what
what
I'm
about
saying.
though?
Like considering, well, yeah.
I was really expecting
Hey,
to be
Garrett.
like, yeah, I would have
Yeah.
turned that down.
Can I borrow this and go to the bathroom real quick?
Yeah.
Bring a condom.
And $20.
Yeah, pay me.
The rate
off.
has gone up.
Pay me the $4. Then I'll make the fucking money back.
That is like every time you spend $4 for the rest of your life, you're like, man, I could save
Every
this.
time.
I should just
I
save
think
this.
of this story
There's a better
every
value
time.
out there. Yeah.
I also fucked Ryan Sheckler's ex-girlfriend on my senior year of spring break.
I don't know who Ryan Sheckler.
He was a big
Professional
skateboarder. Yeah.
skateboarder since he was like 16.
Nice. Yes.
I only know that.
I'm
'cause-
throwing him in the YouTube tags, by the way.
Yeah.
We're gonna get- and we got an extra 50 hits off
He
your
was
ass.
not
Okay.
willing to
Okay,
name
okay,
drop
okay.
a stripper
Hang
that
on,
gave
hang
him
on,
a
hang
$4 blowjob. But he is name dropping.
Cuck holding a professional skateboarder.
Hey, you know what,
Yeah,
though?
That's
I-
awesome.
Listen.
Garrett-
Unfucking
hey,
spring
Garrett.
break.
Listen.
Garrett,
listen.
I have
For the
her-
record, she said she was his girlfriend. He probably banged her in the Bahamas. But or some shit like that. But either way, I'll trust her because she was banging.
Good pun intended.
Freddie
Oh,
got
man, I
fingered.
stumbled over my words there.
I don't know if I want to like fuck a chick whose like opening line is, "Hey, I fucked a professional skateboarder." Like,
Oh, I
If
do.
that's-
Why not? That's a story.
Yeah, I agree.
Would you fuck a girl if she said she was a porn star?
Listen to me.
No.
'Cause
The
that's
only
a-
reason I did
no?
the $4 blowjob thing is because it was a story.
yeah, that's fair. That's completely
I
different
feel that
decision
one.
making.
That one's
Listen.
respectable.
Most
But
of
yeah,
the shit
that
I do is because
Yeah.
it was a fucking story.
I
Yeah,
gotcha.
No, dude.
it's a good way to.
Hey, we have media content here that can be additionally accessed to this podcast, and it's of this guy eating a sandwich. It's quite interesting.
Jesus Christ.
This sandwich
Yes.
is dope, and it's a
Yes.
video, and we
Pull
still
up.
have it.
Yes. Twitter. Go to
This is-
Twitter.
All right.
Wait,
You
what?
find it.
Yeah, B-Town Course Crew. This
B-Town
is me,
Course
Crew.
me
Oh my-
and Matt Wilson's fucking.
Oh,
Matt
God.
Wilson needs to
Cascades.
join this podcast.
So Matt
I'm
Wilson.
calling out Matt Wilson.
Hey, so for the record, Matt Wilson was on the NBA playoff preview podcast coming back from Chicago with me. Follow him at OnePuttWillie10.
The fact that you know it out through your head is impressive.
Well, it's a name that's
Yeah.
for sure, you know.
Do you know
it's
mine?
there. Yeah, it's like Barry Plox 33.
Yeah, fairly.
And then
simple.
your bio is it has something like born 30 years too early or some
Yes,
shit
my
like
bio is born 30 years too early.
This is my favorite segment where
And
we just
freaking
like
the
see
sheets.
what Nate can remember.
Nate, what's my Twitter handle? Hey, we're just
it's-
all getting free plugs
that.
out
You know
of
what?
this too. I love it.
Kev Massing, that's what it is.
It's wrong. He gets
Club,
mine wrong.
Yacht Club Kev.
He's all over the place. He's in like a time loop.
Not really.
I have to correct you. Mine
what,
is at
G
my
Dennis?
boy Kev because I
yeah.
have the
You know
most
what?
annoying Twitter handle in the world. I
To
set
be
out
fair,
to accomplish
every
a
time
goal.
I try to tag you in something, whether it's on Shadow Play or my own, I just know. I type in my, and yours pops up right away.
Yeah, as it should because I am at my boy Kev.
I just want
812 Grounds Crew. That's what we're looking for.
So what Garrett? Oh, you're not. You've seen this video?
I have seen this video.
What
yes.
are we looking up right now?
So this was in the middle of the winter in Indiana, where it was a harsh winter, and these fellas they work at a golf course and they were finding stuff to do, and Garrett was like really hungry, I believe, and he just found a sandwich. It was a peanut butter sandwich out in the bushes, and just started eating it.
Did it go viral?
Is that pretty accurate, Garrett? Go ahead and fix all the mistakes I made in that story.
Okay, right on.
He ate a peanut.
Kind of. The story, Matt threw the sandwich into the bushes. This was Matt's sandwich. He just didn't want it and threw it. And I was like, what the fuck? You know? And so we were cutting down this shit, but I found the fucking thing.
Garrett, real quick. So
And he dared me to take a bite out of it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, were you too poor to eat or some shit like that?
No,
or just
no.
desperate?
No. He just like threw it. He
was
threw
a
it
dare,
into the
Nate.
bushes.
Nate's
and
all
he was like,
judgmental.
I found it and it was covered in all kinds of shit.
What up?
Clay just walked in.
Clay's in the
studio.
building.
Clay.
Clay's gonna leave the building.
I feel like every time I see Clay,
Oh, Clay's
he's
grabbing
about
his
to walk out
records
the door.
here. It seems like
Ooh,
Intermission.
Clay.
you guys are here for the live record
Clay, I got to show
unboxing.
you my record collection at one point.
Is that a euphemism?
Well, no.
Well, okay.
Just help Alyssa just go get like 100 records.
Ooh. There we go. We have.
Clay, I took well, you met Kyle last week, didn't you, or just in passing, maybe? Yeah, I took him to Magnolia, and he really enjoyed it. So.
Spend $100.
No, he only spent like 25 or something like that.
I can't go to a record shop without spending $100.
You know,
Funny
that's-
story about spending money at record shops.
Oh, boy.
Nate and I went to this fairly well-known record shop in Bloomington, Indiana.
Which
Trax.
one? Oh, Tracks.
And he bought a combo of records. It was Dirt and Jar of Flies, and one from Alice in Chains.
It wasn't Dirt. It was the SAP and Jar of Flies.
Okay, well, we got it, and it was supposed to be $45, but the lady who was working accidentally rang it in as $15, so we got quite a discount. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Oh,
there we go. We
Now
found
I
it.
found it. It's because
There
there's
we
no
go.
R in Grounds Crew. It's just Gowns Crew.
Did we really
That-
fuck that up?
That's where I. That's where I couldn't find
I
it.
did that too.
He didn't even spell it correctly.
That's my ass as the
They're the Grounds
It's
Crew.
ass as the
as
logo of the Twitter.
Yes, I was pissing in a porta potty. He propped the door open while I was in there, and I just fucking showed him my ass.
Well, you were there for some of it. Can we tell some stories of the parties that we've had here? Because I feel like
Let's
we've got-
enlighten.
God.
This is a
Is
safe
that okay
place.
there, Kev and RJ here?
I mean, I'll have to check with your mother, but I think it's okay.
Okay. Well, you
Oh,
know
I
her.
mean, dang it! I shouldn't have made that joke again.
You know
with
what?
your
You
mom.
know her.
That wasn't meant to be like a.
On Mother's Day.
Yeah, Happy Mother's Day. Oh, that remind. Thank you. I
Did
have
you-
I have
hey,
something for this.
Did you
but later.
did you call your mom, Kev?
I called my mom yesterday because, as you may or may not remember, my mom's birthday is the day before Mother's Day. So
Well, it depends on when it is. though,
yeah,
'cause
but it's
like-
this. Yeah, sometimes
that's
it's on Mother's Day, but this time it was yesterday. So I got that. I talked to her, and then I'll talk to her again at the end of the night tonight.
Fair enough.
I'm one who likes to, on people's, like, on your birthday or something, I'm more likely to hit you up at the end of it
That's
rather
true.
than during
Same.
your day. I'm going to hit you up when I think you might already be in bed and be like, hey, hope your birthday was great. And, I'll
Are you-
fade
are you
out from the
shooting at me?
200
Are
people.
you taking a shot at me? Here?
I'm shots
Okay.
at everybody. Like, don't ever fucking wish me a happy birthday. I will kill you. I'll come at you strong. No, I'm not coming at anybody. There's no like birthday wishing etiquette that you need to follow. I was just
Fair enough.
yeah. I'll say Happy Mother's Day later.
That's fair.
Jerk.
You know what? My
Hey,
mom.
Kevin. Speaking of this, I wanted to
Mothers.
discuss your bit. You presented a bit to me earlier, and I'd be fascinated to talk about it.
Oh man, but
Yeah.
now I can't remember. So
You wanted
gotta
to
feed
discuss
me,
the worst thing that
feed
your
me.
mother.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, all right. Speaking of, since it is Mother's Day, what I was going to propose as our sort of homage to mothers and our way of a bad dinner guest way of saying Happy Mother's Day was to tell one of the stories that makes you grateful about your mom. The idea being, what is the worst thing that you ever got caught, the worst moment you've had with your mom, one that makes you think back and be like, wow, I really put you through some hell. I appreciate that this happened and you didn't kill me or tell the local news about it.
I'm probably going to take my smoke break and hope you guys go from this to sports so I can just zone out of everything I have no interest in right now.
That's great. That's fine. That's great. I can go ahead and start if
Nah,
you
I was
guys
just
want.
fucking-
You, I mean, RJ's. We got
ahead.
some repressed memories. He's got to go sit outside and play with baby birds.
He's actually got to go in the fetal position and cry here.
Yeah, that's actually.
I thought that was after the concert.
This is
Nate.
why we don't have video, guys.
I thought that's why you brought that plastic bag of not Rooflin.
Dude, I'm not a rapist, man. Leave me alone.
Not with that attitude.
Dude,
Oh.
what the fuck,
So speaking of
man?
things that make mothers proud, the worst moment I can think of putting my mom through, other than when I got hit by a semi truck, would have been in, I think it was 7th or 8th grade. There was a Sunday morning. You guys, I don't have to tell you guys what happens when you're at 7th and 8th grade. Certain
please
things
do
happen
tell
when
me.
you wake up in the morning.
Please do tell
I woke up with just a raging case of morning wood. The kind that where you're like, look, it's 7:30 in the morning on Sunday. I shouldn't even be awake, but this is keeping me up right now, and I need to take care of this. Right, something has to be done about this so I can go back to sleep. Now, my bedroom door was not 100% closed, but I was just rallying on the fact that no one else was awake yet. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just knuckle down here, phrasing intended. A little quick bare knuckle hog fight and just get this out and go back to sleep.
Bare knuckle hog fight. I love it.
And so I don't quite get all the way. I'm close to the promised land when I hear my door creak slightly, and I hear again right after that I hear, "Oh my God, are you fucking insane?" And then I look over and it's my mom. She had walked in She had walked over apparently just with the intention of shutting my bedroom door so I wouldn't hear everyone else wake up for the day so I could sleep in. And she heard the rustling of the sheets and decided she was going to peek in to see if she thought I was just like tossing and turning in my sleep. But no, I was making up some pancake batter for the morning. And yeah, that was very, very traumatizing for us both. I had to have this weird conversation with my dad about how it was okay to masturbate, but I should probably do it in the shower. Stuff like that. So thank you, Mom. Thank you for all you do.
Or put some
Kevin,
calories.
I have a question on this last question. I have to.
He gave you direct
We're gonna have
orders.
to. We're gonna have to
To
deep
wear
dive
the
into this question. Was this from the perspective of a man and his position as well, or from a 16 or from a young boy?
Well, I was there were multiple. I had to have multiple conversations with my dad about getting caught doing those things for multiple reasons. I wasn't a tissue kid, and I wasn't a sock kid. I keep getting these 8 packs of white T-shirts. I'm gonna load up a white T-shirt, and then when it's unusable, I just throw it away.
When it's fucking ceramic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like
When I can turn it into a vase,
Okay.
I put it up on my shelf and then I
So-
throw it away when it breaks.
So Garrett and Lucas, since I kind
fucking
of grew up with
Christ.
Kev here, the way his dad approaches does not surprise me at all. Love the dude, but sometimes he's just him. That's basically how I can put
Are
it.
we about to fight right now, bro?
Here, you might be willing to fight me over this. I'm kind of pissed at how your mom reacted. She could have just shut your fucking door and never said shit. Nobody would have been traumatized. Everything would have been fine.
Yes, because she knows guys are gonna do that. She
But
just
it's
doesn't have to
Mother's
witness
Day,
it.
man.
I understand that. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
I mean, I
this.
agree with you. As the guy who was, like a pariah in his family for masturbating at 12, like, oh God, shit. Here's the thing. I was like a fucking leper in the Massing family because I got caught masturbating. It's like when someone gets caught for a DUI.
Yeah.
Everybody around you is like, well, we all fucking drive drunk, but you got caught, so you're a fucking scumbag.
Hey, I would say
Same
though.
thing with
Same
my
exact concept.
situation. Yeah,
I'll-
like who doesn't rifle one off in their own time?
You know what? I will say though that's
Especially when you're like just coming into that age, because you're like you just discovered it.
Yeah, and I didn't have
Oh,
an allowance
discovering it.
yet,
I've got a
so
story on
there were
that.
no $4 blowies in my future at that point.
No
I was still on a paper route.
was this the Findlay paper route or the Tampa paper route? Or the Naperville, one of the three.
This was actually I was in Ohio at this time.
Oh, okay.
But follow up just to let you know, I did in fact start masturbating in Tampa, Florida. That's where it all began. We went to a Tampa Bay Buccaneers game.
Oh,
and
man,
I was
you gotta
given a
masturbate at that
Interesting
one.
start to
I
the
was-
story.
You got to masturbate at that one.
I was given a program that had a profile for all of the cheerleaders on the squad.
Sure.
Shit, man. I would have done the same thing.
And I quickly flipped through that and masturbated to a picture of Warren Sapp tackling Brett Favre.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
my
Garrett-
first piece of media that helped out with that type of thing was
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition.
Okay.
That's respectable.
So
That's pretty-
when you're in 6th, 7th
I was
grade,
a
that's
cla-
okay because there
I
were
was a
some
classic-
paintings. They did mostly paintings on the women.
Yeah, good call. I was a
I remember
classic
those.
Playboy guy. My dad had a bunch of Playboys.
Dude,
and
you're fucking lucky.
I would
bro.
always steal. I would steal one of them bitches and just fucking hide it somewhere in my room. And I'd look at that motherfucker every day at like 6 years old, and so it began.
So when I lived in Florida, we somehow had access to, I think, the Spice Channel and the Playboy Channel. It was incredibly grainy, and you could only see, like, it was cable we weren't supposed to have, but somehow if I played with the antenna enough, I could get those porn channels when I was like 10 and 11 years old. No, they were channels 79 and 81, man. Yeah, I could get, like,
He
the
remembers the
channel would
channels.
scroll and everything.
You remember?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There are
dude,
two things I remember
Wait,
about Florida. The two porn channels and where I was on 9/11.
Oh.
And those are the order in which I remember them as well.
It used to just be like a solid, like not solid, but it was actually a physical piece of hardware that blocked you from getting premiums, and the cable guy would just like put that on.
No,
It was
really?
like, yeah,
so it was
it
like a
would block
governor.
the-
It was
the
like a governor
bandwidth.
of the satellite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it would
like
block
I
the
had,
bandwidth, and if they started going bad or shorting out or shit, they would come through.
so I had a limp-wristed technician, and I paid. We benefited for 3 years with free porn sites.
Are you guys gonna keep us on the topic of why you're thankful for your
Fortunately-
mom?
Wow,
my
so the
dad-
Warriors just pulled a comeback. Go ahead, go ahead. What you
Fortunately, my father taught me how to use a computer from very young, and never seemed to clear his browsing history ever. Whenever his friends would send him those funny emails, remember like in 2002
Yep.
when that was the thing to do?
Yep.
Yep. Guess where your boy went? Fucking 5, 6 years old.
My
That does not surprise me.
No, dude. It was there. I was the first generation to like have the internet. I've known how to use a computer ever since I can remember.
right.
So it was an interesting time to grow up in.
That reminds me. So my I want to tell you. Makes me want to tell you guys about my first side business. Any Dragon Ball Z fans in the house? Anybody?
I like it. I appreciate it.
You recognize, the character Bulma?
No.
The female characters, just like any anime in general. If anybody's watching anime, they know that
I'm
all
out
the
on that
chicks have really huge boobs and they're like
They-
2-inch
yes,
waist.
they're very sexualized.
They're very attractive, right? So my
yeah.
first ever side hustle, we would print out pictures of Dragon Ball Z female characters that we would find scantily dressed on via a Google search, and then print them out in black and white and sell them for 50 cents a pop to the other horny kids in the middle school.
Hey,
that
what's up,
needed-
Jared from Subway?
That needed something to jerk
Where
off
would you
to.
print? Where'd
What's
you
up,
print these
Jared
off
from
at?
Subway?
In the media room, like in the
school?
because back when I was in middle school, there was
What
a
a
Dell
fucking
there was a
savage.
Dell room and a
So it was
PC.
free.
There's a
You're
PC
using
and an
the school's
iPhone
money
room.
to fucking pump out porn.
Yeah,
essentially.
no,
Nice.
I did.
What'd you spend the money on?
I did
Fuck
get
you.
caught on it. I mean, whatever
There's your
kids
public
spend their stuff
education.
on, like baseball cards and
Did you guys buy beer?
porno mags.
in middle
You're not
school?
buying beer in fucking middle school. I hope you're not.
No.
No, what?
That's a
Okay,
little early.
I
Freshman
saw.
year, sophomore year, high
I
school,
got-
that happens. But
You're
not that
stealing
early.
from your parents' liquor cabinet in high school. You're not buying.
Right.
anything.
So I got a
Smoking
story
little
about
weed,
that.
maybe.
If I can share this here, because
No,
I'm
you're
not,
not allowed.
embarrassed. Oh, all right.
Go
Whatever.
ahead.
So in 8th grade, so to be fair, in 8th grade, Kevin probably thought I was a fucking shithead, but I didn't have any
Word.
real friends or anything.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
You can confirm if you want, man. Like, that's fine.
I've said all I'm gonna say.
All right, that's fair. So, I didn't really have any friends. I was picked on and whatnot. And this girl who was in one of my classes, just because of various ways I could get stuff, she asked me to bring her like a little alcohol. So I ended up bringing her some alcohol and got around.
Sounds like super bad.
Well,
It does sound like super
Well,
bad.
some
That's
other
one of my
dude-
favorite movies, so keep
Please
going.
let him finish, so then we can call him out on giving us the entire script of Superbad as if we've never seen it. Yes. It'd be really funny. I would like him to get in the dick pictures. and all.
Also, I
Yeah,
can't wait to
too.
go in
Yeah,
later
where
and
you
clip
ask for
out
time.
just RJ saying, "Can we please let him finish?"
anyway, so I brought it to school the next day and gave it to her during band class. And by the end of band class, like, everybody fucking knew about it. So this other dude who we were both friends, well, I mean, I was kind of friends with him. Like I said, I didn't really have any friends. I was picked on. He took it to, like, help out, make sure, and he ended up getting in trouble. So I ended up getting 5 days of supervised out of school suspension and almost got my mom in a lot of shit. And my stepdad, who Kevin knows, went off on me. So
I've met him before as well.
yeah, but I mean, he's changed
No, he was
drastically.
nice,
Yeah, absolutely. We have a good relationship now, but so that was in 8th grade. So that shit happened, but that was partly because of what my mom does for work. And I guess on the screen here, we've got a
I
video.
found the surprise sandwich.
We've got a video of a Bloomington golf course grounds crew
That's good, Denison.
Actually,
eating a
it's,
sandwich.
It's actually the Gowns crew. Get it right.
Gowns. the B-Town Gowns.
I can't remember who did the.
It was Matt, dude. It was Matt.
It definitely was
Matt
Matt.
pimped it.
So it's okay.
If it wasn't, I'm blaming it on Matt.
But I
anyway.
like seeing this stuff because now I have some faith, and I feel like I disappointed you. I have yet to create the BDG Bloomington Twitter handle, and I think it has a future now.
It has a
Should-
feature. There's
It-
three
it-
proponents.
It
There are
really
three
does. I think
lords to run
I'm
it.
looking across the room at the future of BDG Bloomington, and
Yeah,
I like
mean,
what I'm
shouldn't
seeing.
I be responsible for that though? Really?
Yeah, but you haven't done it in a week either. So, but I said on air that I would do it by the end of the day, and I didn't. So
well,
I'll
I'll take care of
I
that.
have to apologize.
Fellows,
let me
as
take
Thomas
care of that.
Jefferson did the Louisiana Purchase and spread his territory out west, you too shall do the same if you decide to go on with the BDG Bloomington.
You're
I'm
moving to
out
Kansas
west.
City.
Oh,
You're moving to Kansas
So we
City.
have more territory to
BGKC.
cover
I
if
like
we
it.
decide to
BG
go along with this.
We're
We're going
spreading out.
nationwide.
We're doing it.
Well, hey, you know what, Garrett? You can
Coast to
join
coast.
in here. I mean, it's just a matter of us getting time together.
Yeah, I train a lot of jujitsu.
You just have to
Oh,
get
really?
jumped
Yeah,
in.
so I'm
Sweet.
busy.
And
Well, I should be a little better now. Now I'm just working, but I had fucking school, and I just have no fucking free time when I'm doing school. So possibly, yes.
refills all around.
Um,
Little status update.
Kevin, I was joking about not actually wanting to do the topic. You were talking about like times that you were like thankful for your mom putting up with your shit.
Yeah.
Nate already talked about getting his mom put in prison for distributing alcohol to minors.
Yep.
Do you either of you two have one of those like moments? It's kind of on the spot. Nobody
yeah.
ever talked
My 18th birthday.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
God.
So my parents decided to. I have 7 acres of land at my parents' place.
Why can't we have a
Big.
party at your house then?
I'll tell you right here. This is why. So this is the first time I'm ever allowed to have a party. I've had like maybe 15 people over before, like at once. Well, we went to about 70 on this one.
You and Jonas?
Well,
I feel like
everybody. Anyway, moral of the story, fucking party, I tell everybody to show up at 10. At 7 o'clock, I start hammering a fucking bottle of Captain Morgan private stock. And I am fucking blackout drunk by 9:30. So I don't hardly remember like who was there, who was not there. People come up to me all the time, tell me stories about like shit that happened there. No idea. Fucking. So it gets better. It gets better. So, yeah. So about 11:30, we're fucking. It's going, and I just have this little snippet of memory of me fucking no pants on, just in my underwear.
what the fuck?
Yes.
A tank top, a cut-off tank top, I think. Actually, I think my cargo shorts might have been around my neck. Actually, I think I have some
That's
pictures.
normal.
of-
That's
I
normal.
think I have some pictures of this. Anyway,
You're gonna have to send me them so I
Adam
can
and
put
I've
them
had some
up.
shorts
yeah. So I have this snippet of memory where I'm stumbling around, pretty intoxicated, going, when are the fucking South sluts getting here? And just like yelling this.
So for the real
Just
quick,
going, and I turn around and my mom's standing behind me.
so
So
for the record,
that was a moment.
when Garrett says South sluts, he's talking about Bloomington South High School, and because Bloomington's
where
got
I
a couple high
went.
school. He went to Ellettsville, well Edgewood, but
Edgewood.
there's north and
Yeah.
south around there. I do want to say,
Wait,
'cause-
they have they have north and south. What about east and west?
no,
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 they only have two
The Earth is
directions.
flat, it's all an illusion.
yeah,
Do
just
you,
south and
you
north.
guys are from a
Columbus
two-dimensional
inspired
town.
the thinking.
So I do, because
Gets
he
my
reminded
sludge
me
hard.
of this. I wanted to share this because this happened at Wesley's house.
Oh,
that
boy.
one party.
Hey, Nate,
What?
do you want me to spill the beans on the story with my mom?
Oh, I forgot about that, man. I've been like
Just to get it out of the way. With the
900 miles per hour right now.
Get you a notepad, Nate. Write it down.
All right,
Put
I'll just
put a
sum this
pin in
up
it. Let's-
quick so you can get back to yours because mine's
No,
Let's
take
hear
your
this
time.
in
Oh, hang on.
Embarrassing.
I'm gonna real quick. I'm gonna finish why we can't have a party at my
Go
house
ahead and
because
finish.
this is the same night. So that was the moment of disappointment. Here's the second moment of disappointment. The girls from South actually do show up,
oh God.
but they brought a young lady that because of my state, didn't know was coming, and she was pretty young and got really intoxicated, and she fell the fuck down and hit her head on the concrete. So we had to call an ambulance for her.
God.
So everybody
Jesus.
scatters. Everybody that's too drunk to drive goes to my room. And so I got like 25 people in my fucking room. By this point, I'm passed out drunk. I was when cops are coming and all that shit. So don't know. But I was in the house, and when they fucking drugged me in the house, I fell down in the middle. Of this chick's fucking tits. I swear to God. Like,
That's what they told him.
yeah. No, I remember that too. That was a snippet of memory. And I just laid there because I didn't give a fuck, and I was hammered. And
At least you remember the good part.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So fucking, I'm asleep. I wake up to my mom fucking saying I need to talk to the police. I'm looking around. There's 20 fucking people in my room. Plus, I have no clothes on besides my fucking underwear. So get dressed, go outside, talk to the police.
You didn't go in your underwear.
I did not go in my
Let's
underwear.
see.
Close. I didn't wear a shirt though. I don't think. I
There
don't
you go.
remember.
Sorry.
They asked me if I'd been drinking. I said I had a sip, and it was probably pretty clear that I was hammered. But yeah. So after that night, no more parties were allowed to take place. But we did it right. I mean, we did.
Yeah.
We threw it down.
It sounds like a good time.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it once, that's the way to do it. Have a fucking.
A picture got posted on Facebook, actually, too, and it got a quarter of, like, our track team suspended right before state and all that stuff. It was awesome. So
There were consequences.
got me suspended off the fucking golf team.
Oh.
Yeah. We got a lot of athletes suspended with that party.
Yeah.
So, I mean, once again, memory,
Yeah.
story.
And you brought down the like.
But yeah, that was
Bread and
that was
circus
that
in
was
your
pretty
school.
disappointing for my mom. I think that was bad.
What about you?
How the fuck do I repeat a story like that?
Yeah, how are you
Don't
gonna
repeat
follow?
his
Have
story.
you
That'd
told
be,
me the
like,
story?
Oh,
by
right
chance?
there.
No,
I
repeat
don't know.
his
I don't
from
have anything
memory.
that can compete against something like that.
No, but you still.
I'll just provide a quick little. What do you think, Nate?
Write a soliloquy.
Well,
It'll be fine.
oh, never mind. That story doesn't fit because that had to do with living with your dad for the time being. So never mind.
Well, don't be a tease.
Ah,
you know?
fuck off.
What were you
Kevin.
gonna
Like
ask
if it's
me?
not gonna work, just say, "Hey, it's not gonna work," and then think thoughts up here in your head.
Yeah, I realize that now.
You jerk,
Yeah. Well, I'm Randy, so there you go.
Randy. Let the man tell his awkward mom story so we can hear his awkward mom story.
Fair enough.
I'm curious.
Now
What
I feel
were you gonna say,
feel
Nate?
bad.
I
Yeah,
wanna
what
know
were you gonna
were
say?
gonna
Now
say.
now I want to hear it. Come back,
What?
Nady. Come back.
I don't share that story.
Even Newt's whining now. He's like,
Yeah,
I want to
we'll
hear
get you
that
there.
story.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Dude, I have nothing. I was gonna.
He was
Bounce.
like, I
Whatever
hope
you're gonna
Nate, I
say
hope
to
Nate will
something
move.
Like, I'm looking for a way out. Nothing.
No.
Damn.
Where-
One
I'm not
time-
gonna solve this. We can keep going somewhere else.
No, one time, like it was the winter, and I was driving a Jeep with bald tires, and I wasn't sure of the status of my license, but when I went around a bend, like, I lost like the tail end of the Jeep, and then like trying to compensate for it, there was another vehicle, and I just had to kind of like go off onto the side of the road instead of like hit a vehicle that was coming at me. And part of that was like I couldn't stop as I hit the berm of the road, and I ran over like a "Beware of Children" or that kind of sign.
Oh, okay.
So like I ran over the sign, and I'm like up on the ditch, and I had to end up like I called my mom basically because she lived like right down the road, and I was like, "Hey, I need you to come down here quicker than like if somebody saw this happen." And say that you hit the sign, I'll pay the ticket. Like if the cops get here before I get off the sign, because my vehicle was hung up on a sign, the sign, and that was in the ground, like it was caught up in my exhaust and shit. So I had to get my like Sawzall out and like cut the sign off and shit, and then like pull out of there. But she drove down there, so like if the cops came while I was doing that shit, she could say she was the one to hit it, because I was pretty sure that like I owed a ticket and they suspended my license. So yeah, I guess that's probably a good one.
Well,
That
if that's one for you, then I've got one that's a little bit similar, but got a number of differences. I used to drive a little fucking piece of shit Escort. It was 1999 ZX2 my dad bought
Oh, that's a good year.
on the west end of Louisville for $450. My cheap ass dad knows how to find deals, and that thing ran and drove for a good year and a half. But
This is true.
I had to get I had to get a different, thing. So I got an old truck. It was an '89 F-150, sucked on gas. So I drove my mom's car for long distances. Anyways, went over to my buddy's house, and the previous weekend we'd been hanging out together. We were whiling around. We were 16, and we went to Walmart and both stole a half gallon of Jack Daniels and a half gallon of Grey Goose. So
Sounds like a good fucking day.
we were going to a party, and we were supposed to match up or whatever our bottles with somebody else. So we didn't want to give up a whole bunch for alcohol with no reason. So we just decided to drink most of it there, so we didn't have anything to present, and we'd already get into our system. So I was driving basically her car around, which was like a pretty brand new car, like drunk as fuck. And also he had other things that, we had decided to, snort into our system. So that decided to help things, but pretty much wrecked the fuck out of the car, deciding to try and drift. And it costed over like $9,000 worth of damage. And I had basically just told her that it was slick outside because it had rained, and she totally believed the fucking story. And I felt so bad about it ever since. She has no idea that happened, but
So
Yeah.
don't ever tell her that you
So-
do podcasts.
Joke's on you. I already
Yeah,
shared this to her Facebook post.
No,
I'm
you
just
didn't,
kidding.
though.
Nate would do something like that. Though.
No, I
that
fucking
that
would.
reminds me about when Sean got on that kick of making memes out of other BDG members, and he made a meme out of me, and then, but without tagging me personally in it, and then the very first comment on it was Nate tagging my personal Facebook account, like, oh, by the way, this is who this is right now.
Hey, you know what though, Kev? I've never told your mom or dad or shit anything, so we're gooch.
Which is fair. Which I mean, I don't particularly
And
care.
anything I've ever told my mom, you're not a part of. So,
Well, that's good.
Interesting aspect to my little piece. Nate knows my mom very well because
Phrasing.
His
he's
mom
lived
is-
in Bloomington ever since I've known him.
his mom is a lovely woman, honestly.
Nate and my mom have gotten drunk on a number of occasions, but it's not been a
Whoa.
weird type of deal.
Whoa.
It's just, at my house, my stepdad, he used to make his own beer, and they've got a cool little setup, and they throw some parties, and Nate hangs out over there with us. Like, we're, cool, like friends like that.
Nice.
So he
shoot,
knows
I
her is
mean-
the point.
I think
what,
Nate's
though?
mom hates me, which is why I have
No.
to stop making the
No.
mom jokes because I don't mean them.
No,
but,
she doesn't.
I think so. It's okay. It's okay. We'll solve
you know
this.
what?
Some,
I
we'll
mean, she
solve
knows
this
I've visited you plenty of times here, and we've been good on that front. So,
So Nate, it looks like they're taking a little bit of a that's
Pee
the beauty.
break.
That's the beauty of the 5-man podcast.
that's true.
They're taking a little bit of a bathroom break. I wanted to. We just saw the Warriors come back from 20 points down against the Spurs. That's RJ's about to leave too. Yeah, that's why I segued the way I did, sir. Be like, hey, now would be that time.
RJ's got to go.
Me and Garrett are going to talk about being a libertarian.
Yes, exactly. And then that's when I'm going to take my. So we're going to get episodes
Yeah.
for 3 different shows out of this. So welcome
Well,
to Off the Bandwagon.
That's true.
And then after Off the Bandwagon, we'll have 60 Grit Radio, where Garrett and RJ talk about being a libertarian. And then I ask them questions that they're probably tired of answering because idiots like us ask some. I have a funny thing about the libertarian to bring up to you guys later. RJ's heard it before, but Garrett, it will be a new one for you. I had somebody say a generalization of what they thought libertarians believed, and I thought it was hilarious. I'll save it for when RJ gets back. It's when you
Okay.
guys start talking about
Okay.
that. But somebody remind me. Don't let me forget about
Funny
that.
thing. There you go.
Funny thing. There we go. Speaking of funny things, the Warriors came back from 20 points down. You picked the Spurs to go up against the Cavs. You're looking to
No,
try
I
to
picked the
stay-
Spurs against the Celtics, by the way.
You picked Spurs Celtics in your finals. That's what you picked.
Yes.
So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still feeling like I'm going to come out on top with this.
You're still not going to ever be the college basketball expert on
I
the show.
will be our college basketball expert next year. I do.
What's your funny story at Wesley's?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got to share that. I'll share this real quick.
Go back to it.
So we had a party this past summer at Wesley's, and a bunch of people. You were there because we did stuff. So we showed
That
up.
doesn't really narrow down the night, but yes. Keep
Yeah.
going. I'll
No,
figure
it
it
was
out.
the
I'll figure it
last.
out.
It was the
Also-
last
Okay,
one at
okay.
Wesley's.
Then I know that one.
Also,
then.
the audio only audience thanks you, Nate. Oh, and even the YouTube, the whole audience. You were there. Go ahead. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm sorry. I love the face.
I'm just fucking kidding. It's whatever. So we've had a lot of parties at this place. Usually it's been within hand. It's not been outrageous. I think this was West's birthday party, and he lives next to a church. Well, people park in the church parking lot, which typically is fine, as long as you're gone in the morning, because they tend to happen on Saturday nights. So we had this party, and there was a shit ton of people that ended up showing up that nobody knew. Well, probably about 100, which for
Yeah, it was big.
for that house. I feel like you and Jonas invited a shit ton of people that
I
nobody
didn't
knew.
do shit.
I'm just kidding.
Classic Nate. You guys did a bunch of stuff, and then I
I'm
was
not even
just
blaming
there.
it on Jonas.
So-
I don't know who the fuck invited him.
Black dude who was fucking stealing shit.
I don't know, but I'm gonna get to
That was
stealing
Nate.
shit here in a second.
You gotta
Fair
put your
enough.
put your lips on that mic.
So anyway, the party's going well. Lucas is talking to this one girl, and I was talking to her because she liked Joy Division too.
I just saw her. I
Um,
just saw her name
yes,
on
this
my
came-
Snapchat. Whenever I saw it, I did the add to contacts, but I deleted her out of there. But somehow she's still in my contacts. I saw her name and I was like, oh, I remember that party. I saw that actually today
Huh, that's
for
funny.
the first time in fucking forever.
So everybody was chill for the most part, but some people were kind of being outrageous and parking all over the church and not really respecting the parking lot. So I guess what ended up happening is the pastor showed up and said something, asked if all the cars were going to be gone in the morning. Well, somebody came back into the house, I don't know who, and said the cops were called. So unfortunately, there was people under 21, so everybody bailed out.
Within of that statement, 90 seconds, everyone was gone out of the house. Literally, quick.
Damn.
Fire drill.
So I think he was still there. He was a little intoxicated.
I'll tell my side of the story now.
Fair enough. So I left with Matt.
Ooh.
Well, no, we drove down the road and drove back. Everybody was gone, so we ended up going out later. For a
That's
little
what
bit.
they did.
Yeah.
I did something different.
Yeah. So we came
I'll
back.
tell my side after.
So when we came back from going out, all the lights were on. We turned off all the lights. We thought we locked all the doors. All the drawers in the kitchen were pulled out. Come to find out, the next day, somebody came back after.
Hey, let me tell the story. Because this is where it
All
goes
right,
from
fair
my
enough.
point of view.
Spoiler alert. Okay, switching sides.
All right, so they went out to the bars. Well, after the party broke up, I needed somewhere to lay my drunk mind. I was about to fucking get sick, so I had to lay down on the couch, and I just sat there, and thought I was good for about 20 minutes
Yeah.
until I noticed all the lights went out and everyone left, and I was just like, just kind of low as fuck. And next thing I know, I got sick and it wasn't good. But
RJ's mad. He's like, you guys are supposed to be talking about sports while I'm gone.
sorry. I had to tell the part of the story. But anyway, so every point of the story, everyone left. But before that had happened, I'll just mention a few words on the party. I'll make it brief, but it was a fucking hell of a party. It was an amazing
It was a
one.
hell of a party.
I literally met one of my best friends that I ever met. His girlfriend, who wasn't with him because she was actually in Europe. She goes to IU with me, and he's one of my dudes. And we met at this party, and we're friends through we have 7 mutual friends, but we had never met each other. His name's Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out J Bone.
And
That's what I'm calling you,
We
Jeremy.
have so many people in common, and we were really good friends. But we met at this party. Otherwise, without this party, we would not be friends, And also, I met this other chick who was super chill. We ended up smoking, a nice amount of pot together there and drinking some drinks. And then the next thing I know, we started talking about bands. And she said she loved Alice in Chains and Nirvana and Joy Division. And I was like, man, this is actually pretty interesting.
And then he hit it.
And then the
on
next thing I know, I
both
tried to
legs.
find myself. She had me find herself on the Instagram or whatever, and I did that. Next thing I noticed, I woke up in the morning and it said 98 next to her name, and I was like, wow, that seems a little bit old, I'm 23 years old, so that was
It seems a little bit old or a little bit young.
yeah, young. I mean,
Oh, okay. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
was she 98 years old? Because if she's born in
No.
98 and you think she's a little old,
so
then
she was like,
there's the
18
fucking
years
door.
old,
No,
basically.
just
So it was weird for me, I was 22, I think, or whatever. But anyways, the party was pretty fucked up or whatever. But I woke up the next morning, and next thing I noticed was Matt had brought this chick back over, and there was a whole bunch of people just laying on the ground kind of around us, and everyone was way more drunk than me whenever I'd woken up because I had decided to wave the white flag a little bit earlier, I laid on the couch. It was okay.
You needed
But anyways,
to.
so I woke up and I was a little bit more observant than the others, and I woke them up, and I just noticed I was like, Wes and Matt, where the fuck is your Xbox, Roku, and your satellite dish? So basically, all these fucking dudes that come in the middle of the night, turned on all the lights, went through all the shit, and stole a whole bunch of fucking crap while I was passed the fuck out on the couch and just went right by me, and it was pretty creepy for me to do that.
Yeah, he didn't wake up for anybody stealing shit, and he was right there.
well,
basically.
I had the almost exact same situation happen. We in college we were robbed during a Halloween party, and then 3 days later they came back and got the rest of the stuff. They had to have been watching the house because 3 of us went to a bar down the road, and we were only gone for 45 minutes when we came back.
So they were watching
and
you.
2 of my roommates were asleep in the house.
If you don't mind me asking, I'm not sure. Where'd you go to?
University of Toledo. So I mean, it was pretty.
Okay.
I mean, when we talked to the cops, they're like, "Yeah, there's nothing. We get 12 of these a day. Like, we're not going to catch anybody."
Yeah.
I asked the cops, like, what should we do? What course of action do you advise? And they laughed at me and said, get renter's insurance and a maid. Because they had, obviously, they had
There's
trashed the
basically nothing
place.
you can do
Yeah.
is what they said.
And they were just like, fuck you. You're gonna want to put some wood in front of this window that they smashed. It was we got work.
Sounds
So yeah.
encouraging.
Oh yeah, it was great.
That's
Serve and protect, baby. And that was a good time when we got robbed. But again, the same thing. We had a roommate sleeping in the room next to him. People are carrying out a 60-inch TV and an Xbox, and he's just passed. And he wasn't even drunk. Like in your situation, you're blacked out to hell. This guy was it was a Monday night, and he was asleep. And he didn't hear 4 or 5 people break into our house and steal all the electronics.
Jesus Christ.
So it is always kind of creepy. And he was weird about it. He's like, dude, if they had been worse people, like I could have been dead and just like slept
Or
through
brutally
my own murder.
raped.
Yeah, like I
I
could have
think
been
you're gonna wake
cornholed.
up for a rape. I hope
That's what I
would
said.
wake
I
up
was
for a
like, dude,
rape.
once they penetrate you, you'd have been awake.
Fuck that.
I mean, I've heard. I don't
Hey,
know.
question-
Somebody touches
question.
me. That's
Was he drunk?
I'm definitely not asleep. What?
Was he drunk or fucked up on other things?
See, I want that yellow flag. I propose a yellow flag for new group hosts, and when you do stuff like ask someone a question after they just acknowledged it, I can throw the flag at Nate, and he has to chug his beer. I'm putting that
There
motion
needs
on
to
the
be this
floor.
chug your beer.
It can't be beer. It has
Chug
to
your
be
beer.
gross.
Oh, no, but I mean at least a beer.
Yeah, we need shots.
But it's just like it was.
Yes, I was actually about to propose that before the show we should do some shots.
like it-
libertarian thing.
maybe
yeah.
we can,
Wait a minute.
you know,
Whenever you're done with that.
maybe we can
Yes.
make
Back.
up for that and do 2
Yes.
right now.
Anyway, bad stories all done and whatnot here. How about?
it's time for our 60 grit soundbite.
Yes, it is.
What? Hold on.
Yeah,
Before
you
we
guys
do
are gonna
any
get to
60
know
minute
each other
soundbite,
and
I
take a
wanna
walk.
acknowledge- What's your name again?
Oh,
Oh,
I
it
told
happens.
see, but
Garrett
it's
and
better. Is it better
Lucas.
than saying, "Hey, I can't
Lucas.
remember how to pronounce
Lucas.
it"?
Lucas.
It's better.
Would it have been better if he'd have said,
Well, here's the thing.
"I
about
can't
had an
pronounce your
aneurysm.
name"?
It's better.
I
I
think
prefer
it just
the
made me
upfrontness.
forget his name.
It happens.
So I
You
go out to
warned me
smoke
too.
my
You did
cigarette,
warn me.
and like he catches me as I'm walking out. He's like, "Hey, can I get a cigarette?" And then like I walk about halfway down the hall, and I'm like, "Oh, he might think I'm going back out front." So I come back here and get him, and he like follows me, and I hand him my pack of cigarettes and my lighter. I'm like, "I'll get you outside. I gotta pee." He's like, "Okay, I'll be outside." So like I go outside, and I'm like, "I'm going crazy. This motherfucker is not outside." So then I walk around the house. I'm like, he might be just retarded and have gone with my cigarettes and lighter back out front. So I check out front, and no, he's not out front. So I come all the way back inside, and he has rejoined the podcast with my cigarettes and lighter.
Yeah, it's because we're that enticing.
What
Like,
was
that's
going
just
on
what
in
we
here that I
do.
missed?
Dude, I honestly would not do that under most circumstances. But there was a story that was being told that I'm a huge central figure in that I had to get back in the mix in, and I didn't know how to like leave the story like halfway through and be like, "Hey, here's your cigs, dude." Like, sorry, I'm sorry, man.
It was just, it was.
I know. I felt like a dick about it as soon as I did it. I knew it was a dick move, and I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to do it any better.
Sometimes, I just got to call you out for it, Coke. It's pretty funny.
Well, everyone knows now. So
I don't know. I have a bad habit of if like I'll walk up to somebody, I'll ask them for a light, and I'll light my cigarette with the lighter I just asked them for, and then like put it in my pocket immediately, and they'll be like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, are you trying to be funny?" And it's subconscious. That was kind of funny to me for that reason. There, I didn't know if you were just drunk and forgot why you had these cigarettes and lighter. Newt Dog has not had any drinks, and he has still somehow been the first to throw up.
Right here at my
Maybe
feet.
he's sick. I mean,
Maybe he was also eating grass while I was out back.
Okay, well,
so
that's probably
he's kind of a
I
grazer.
think, I think that was
there was
mostly
probably
grass.
poop, feces, shit, and that, and just
Those
all
three
kinds-
things are the same thing.
I'm aware. That's why I didn't say and. That's why I didn't say and.
You did say "and" though. I
said
think.
poop, feces, shit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I kind of wanted to get before we start talking about being a libertarian. I wanted to get Kevin in here, but because Newt, the studio dog, is actually Kevin's dog, he's cleaning up the puke. But can you throw your story in? Are you back? Are you good?
Story.
Didn't
You
he
said-
throw his story in
I
already?
led with mine.
Yeah.
No,
he
not
led.
the story. You said coworker or something like that. Like,
About the libertarian thing.
yeah.
So, one moment. Yes, so I think I've told you this already, probably on an episode of 60 Grit, but there was a time I was over at a friend's house and we were discussing Bad Dinner Guests as a network, and he was asking what types of shows we had, and I was running through the list. And as I hit 60 Grit Radio and talked about our libertarian political show, he stopped me. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh yeah, libertarians. He's like, those are the guys that believe 9/11 was an inside job, right? And I didn't really. First of all, I didn't know how to answer. I'm not a libertarian. I had literally just told him that I wasn't a libertarian. The words out of my mouth were, "Oh yeah, and my buddy RJ runs a libertarian political show." And then his response was, "Oh yeah, those are the guys that believe that our government did 9/11, right?" And I'm like, I don't know.
That's our voter base.
That's why I said
why
someone
Trump
else
won.
runs it. But yeah, that's why. So I wanted to get your guys' feedback on, because in our group, I'm known more as the guy who takes conspiracy theories seriously, and RJ will bust me out on them all the time. But yet he's our libertarian. So what would you guys think about that sort of? And do you get that from other people?
Have you watched Zeitgeist?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
It's like
I've
those
watched
documentaries.
I think I watched and the second one, whatever the moving forward.
Well,
or
I think there's like 3 of them now.
There is.
Okay.
They're on
Maybe-
Netflix.
Maybe more. Yeah.
Kevin's actually the one that told me to watch them.
Interesting. I don't know on 9/11. I think JFK. Like there's some. I'm hit and miss on conspiracy theories.
yeah.
9/11 possibly. Have you ever seen the Operation Northwoods document from the 60s?
Oh yeah, I have,
Yeah.
and I for one, for what it's worth, am definitely more on the side of the official story of 9/11 is bullshit, and I'm not a libertarian. So for me, I don't think you could ever say that. Oh yeah, the libertarians, those are guys. Like no, there's a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot
dude,
of the people
I
that
mean-
live in New York are part of that movement. So
I don't know. I mean, I'm just a fucking guy. I was 4 years old when it happened.
right.
So
Shit, you're making me feel old as fuck.
I know, dude. Well, I remember where I was when it happened and all that still, but
As a good American should.
I guess
America.
like in general though, when you talk to people politically, like do you get that same vibe where like do people consider when people hear libertarian, or do they talk
they
to
just
you
don't
about
know.
crazy conspiracy theories and they
no, they don't even know what the fuck that is. They're like, most people don't even know because I'll talk. Libertarian, for anybody that doesn't know, is socially left and financially conservative. So the way I think the monetary system should work is the Milton Friedman style economics, not our Keynesian economics that we have now. And then socially, I'm pro-drug as they come. I think all drugs should be legal. Now that freaks people out, but not like
Not in this room though.
not just like yeah, I know, but like if you say that to somebody, that really disturbs a lot of people when I say that to them for the first time.
Well, for some reason they have that idea like, oh, if drugs are legal, everyone will do them. It's like, no, just because drugs are illegal doesn't mean Aunt Sally's going to do heroin tomorrow if she still hates heroin and hates needles.
Well, I think the numbers prove it just on marijuana going legal in recreational states, the amount of drug addicts that it took down. I mean, there's ways to do these things to where it's not a problem. Like we have science. If you address the problems that these people have, especially if we created a better background for our mental health in America, I think if psychiatrists were a thing all through schools, I think that kids should be talking to therapists all through schools. I think that should be a part of the school system. I think you work out a lot of problems early before those manifest and become into fucking walking down the halls shooting everybody.
Yep.
I think it would be fun to do a podcast with you about being a libertarian and just like 2 different takes on it, because we're from 2 different schools a little bit.
Really?
But you're also maybe just softer or younger in it too.
Ooh.
No, not
I'm
like
just
that,
that was
but-
yeah, I know. That's just I'm just being an ass.
When
It
you
added a
say-
little flavor to
Ooh.
it.
Well, so the socially liberal, fiscally conservative. That's more like the Gary Johnson kind of tagline. And I'd rather people think that than teabagger for sure. When they're like,
Yeah.
oh, libertarian, it's not the guy that's naked up on the LP stage, but
Maybe not even fiscally conservative, because then implying that conservatives are fucking wacky with their money. I mean, they're like Trump. I think Trump sees like the government as a nuisance in the way for him not being able to build a pipeline and a hotel on that
Trump sees the government
pipeline.
as a tool, as a good status does, though. Trump has used the government. That's why he was a Democrat before. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a property guy. Like,
Yeah,
the government
exactly.
is his biggest friend. If you want to move people out, just raise their property taxes. I got the money in the bank to buy it as soon as you kick them out of the neighborhood. The Trump operates off that. What I was saying, like softer, maybe you haven't like thought about it or gotten there as far. You're talking about needing more school counselors in schools, so we stop school shootings. Maybe you just don't need to force kids to go to like public schools where they're getting bullied.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Like,
I agree wholeheartedly with that. But
it's
if we're
just
gonna
kind of
keep the same system,
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
then this doesn't make any sense, dude. Public school was a fucking nightmare. I mean,
Did you see that kid that just killed himself? The little like he was like 8 or something like that.
yeah, it happens all the time. I mean, it's a fucking nightmare for some people. That's a confusing fucking time where you think that you're defined by you're only as good as your brand name on your shoes and your clothes, and
Yeah.
And not only that,
And-
but you have to establish that based off income you don't have, and tell people what you like want to do. And you're like a kid, like you're still figuring out there's still magic in the world.
Yeah,
Like, and they're telling
exactly.
you got to figure out what you want to be when you grow up. Like, there's no reason to like stick people into that system. at all to
Absolutely
me.
not.
I don't know that with our lifespan being where they're at, you need
Yeah.
people to be 22 entering the.
Well, guidance counselors like set up a life script for you, like. So, I remember like they would. You remember the tests you would have to take to see where you placed? That was fucking like my biggest anxiety attack because you were even judged off of that.
Yeah.
Like
The
and
core you were in,
Are
too.
you,
The
Yeah,
core you were
exactly.
in, where you could place
Exactly.
into a core
And
based
it was
on your
like-
smartness.
yeah,
I was gonna say, are you talking about like if you get into like honors high school classes and
yeah,
shit like that?
stuff like that. And it's like that wasn't. I mean, that's not necessarily productive. I don't consider myself any less smart than some of those people. In fact, I think some of those people are pretty fucking dumb. I've
Yeah.
partied with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know who those people are.
There are definitely different ways
I
of
mean,
intelligence. And
Yeah,
I was
it's
gonna say,
Albert
like-
Einstein's quote. If you
Right.
judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll go its whole life thinking it's
Well,
stupid.
Exactly.
That too. I mean, people can, certain people have the intelligence to memorize what happens in a book and then take a test like that. Because I feel like a majority of
Yeah.
tests from school happen to be just memorization.
It's
bullshit
pure
there.
regurgitation.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
it is.
And propaganda. Don't forget about the propaganda.
Don't forget about
But
the problem.
let's
Hashtag
bring it back to
conspiracy.
libertarian, though, just to be a dick. One of the reasons you see that like happening organically, maybe and less conspiracy wise, is because a lot of that, since the federal government's taken over education, they've had to find a way to place the money. How are we going to party foul? How are we going to decide where to place the money? And it's gone from you can't measure critical thinking. It's really difficult to measure a kid's ability to critically
Well,
think,
Yeah.
which
you-
matters in
you-
most workplaces a lot more than algebra.
You've got to, but the thing with that is, a lot of it is people don't teach like critical thinking skills and whatnot. And I want to,
That's what I just
shout
said.
out to.
I know.
flag.
I want the yellow flag. I'm getting it.
We
for
need
the
the
next
yellow
week. We
flag.
need a
He would have
flag.
had two.
Well,
by
no,
now.
Seriously.
but
Red
no,
flag.
I was
We're
just
coming up with a
'cause I was-
penalty system. We're doing it.
Well, no, because I was
decided.
I was repeating that to build on this here. There's a school
That's
in
fair.
Bloomington called Harmony, and as far as I know, I haven't done too much research into it, but I had classes with kids at IU who went through Harmony, and it was more like project based.
Harmony. I know her, man.
It was more project based, working within groups, and it wasn't like test based whatsoever. So that's why I repeated that, was just to build on that. There's schools that
I think that's
still-
brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think the days of brick and mortar schools are limited as it is.
Hopefully.
There's
There's a big fight to keep them, though. I mean, the teachers' union's huge, and not only that, they're in the
I
government
think-
and get to fund. Like they force their lobby to pay for it itself,
Then again, that kind of gets into a
just
whole
like
nother.
the police union.
Yeah, that gets
How
into
do you-
another thing of AI being invented, artificial intelligence, and it seems as though there's going to be a mass extinction of jobs. Like in 30 years, we might not think of work and careers the same way as we do now.
We never. That's been life.
Or
Since
you
the
might
beginning
have
of
a
time.
robot supervisor. How
But-
weird would that be?
That's
Yeah,
been-
it could go a lot of different directions. It's kind of fucking
They
scary.
have like a Mr.
But-
Handy floating around being like, Kevin, you cannot be on your cell phone.
it-
Fucking robot.
But that's,
You know?
that's really
that
been
might be
the-
helpful. Keep some fucking idiots off of Facebook and post
What
some
are
dumb
whalers
shit.
going to
Yeah.
do once we start burning crude oil? I mean, it's been, it's a long time issue that everybody's like, oh, we can't move forward or we're worried about this. But as lives get easier, we focus on different things. You might see lifelong, like improving, like your longevity of life, more careers opening up in those fields.
Don't
But
be a Luddite.
AI is never going to be able to dig a ditch. AI is never going to be able to build
Well,
a
not with that
pipeline.
attitude.
It's just at the end of the day, those jobs are always going to exist. We need to quit telling people that to get those jobs and to improve in those fields, fabrication jobs are always going to exist. People are always just going to need that kind of stuff.
You don't think everything will be automated?
No. There's just it's unnecessary and it's bland.
As fucked
And
up. Go ahead.
It can't create. You know what I mean? It can in its own way. But if we see problems that don't actually exist, and that makes us create products for those problems, and then explain to you that this problem exists, that's why the fucking Snuggie exists. AI is never going to create the Snuggie. That solved an issue that wasn't there. You could wear a robe backward. It was fine. But
Yeah, it's like nice.
those
Good point.
things, those creations, it's going to allow more people to spend time doing stupid shit like that, though, I think, for sure. But we need to quit convincing people that you need to go get indebted for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000
I agree wholeheartedly.
to, just get a piece of paper. We don't even care the field because you need to get a job. Because a lot of those jobs are going to be AI.
Yeah, it's college scared the shit out of me. I go to community college and I don't give a fuck because going that far in debt at 18, 19, 20, 21,
Yeah.
22 young ages like that is fucking terrifying.
It's a
I mean, there are
terrible
people going
idea.
indebted for what I could buy a house for at this
And
age.
you don't ask
To
kids
get a
buy
piece of
house
paper.
at
It doesn't guarantee you a job.
What, unfortunately, though, a lot of jobs have started moving towards, at least not in terms of like trades and whatnot, which we should also be pushing people towards,
They've been
which
decentralized.
people
Totally
have
agree.
mentioned.
Well, yes, yeah, you really should.
But a lot of jobs have moved towards you need that stupid fucking piece of paper to
Here's the
even have a
thing.
chance.
Yes.
Well, that's a class thing.
My
right?
dad dated a girl that had a master's in some fucking biochemistry shit. Like, she knew how to fucking, like, she was gonna make drugs and shit like that for pharmaceutical companies or something like that. All the jobs she applied for, they told her that she was overqualified. When she applied with a bachelor's degree, they told her that she was underqualified, needed experience. Overqualified with a master's, they were gonna pay. They couldn't afford to pay her what it costs for a master's,
Or they didn't
But
wanna
you need
pay her.
experience with your bachelor's degree to get
Yeah,
it.
There was quotes around there.
You're
Nate.
so fucked.
It's
You are
stupid.
so fucked.
yeah, it's
Well,
ridiculous.
That is the
And
market answering it. It's not even-
you're $80,000, $40,000 in debt. If you go to an in-state college, $10,000 a year, $40,000 in debt, and you can't get rid of it. You can file bankruptcy. It doesn't matter what you do. You have to pay that back.
Yep.
Mind you, with interest from the government.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to work in social work, you can find a job pretty easily, though.
Yeah, it's real easy to find government jobs that need the degrees that are backed by government money.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
but the
You might be
That's
onto
so
something.
true.
Call.
You might be onto.
it's,
That's a
Damn
libertarian
it, dude.
call right there.
Thanks. Now here's another YouTube video we aren't able to put ads on now. Thanks.
no.
You just cost us 4 cents.
that,
Bastard.
You bastards.
the not needing the degree to get the job
Capitalist
is completely
pigs.
accurate, but at the same time, that's the market's reply to we have the option to do this now. It wasn't an option businesses had before. Now they know you spent 4 years sitting in desks doing this. You're in debt. You need this job more than ever.
Yeah,
Like,
that's one. That
they know
like
you're gonna do it.
violates all rules of power right there, because they know that you're a fucking slave at that point.
Exactly, and it's a system that like fed in and built.
You have
itself.
no leverage. You
none.
are fucked, and they know that, and they're gonna pay you $40,000 a year because you're fucked.
Exactly. I don't have much remorse for people that got these degrees in fields that can't pay for the degree, in that you should have been able to see when you were starting school. This isn't going to make me money. This is a hobby. This is something. YouTube was around 6 years ago. All of this, and I'm not saying you can get a master's degree off YouTube and everything, but a lot of the stuff that like people are, if you go for zoology or biology, the stuff that you interest you, and the reason you did it, you could still get that much like joy.
Yeah.
And actually
Well,
be productive.
the problem is they think they're doing it right because they're listening to their guidance counselors.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that's in place in a school system to tell you what you need to do to be successful is actually fucking you.
Right.
Point blank fucking you.
Which would have been my only, I guess, counterpoint to when earlier when you were saying we need more counselors
If my
for the kids. I'd be
guidance
like,
counselor
that'd
was
be-
honest with me in high school, he probably should have told me I should try to be a porn star or something. You're not fucking going down that path. Like, I didn't give a fuck about education. I mean, fucking point me in a direction that's realistic. I mean,
Yeah, like a trade school. Or
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
hey, learn
Nobody
how to,
ever mentioned
Why
a
did
trade
anybody
school
ever
to me.
tell you, like, hey,
Ever.
learn how to work on an air conditioning unit and learn
they might as well have
HVAC, and
told
then you
me
can
to
own your own
fucking-
business by the
yeah.
time you're 25.
They might as well have told me to fucking, do whatever.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
There was no guidance.
A lot of people do not realize this. People that I go to IU with right now do not realize this. College is mostly a business. They're out
Fuck
there
yeah.
to make their money.
Penalty flag.
So
Nate wants to throw the flag on that.
Nate wants to throw the flag. Why?
We did kind of cover that. It is a scheme, but I mean,
That's
We
the point, though. Is
look-
that they're out there to make their money. You know.
look no further than buying
and they're
books.
chasing. The reason the cost has gone up so much is because they're chasing money that's guaranteed, and they're being people are being hand fed to them, so they can increase the cost because
There's so much
built
supply.
the Snuggie even though we didn't need it. They're being convinced they need this product, so they can increase their costs, and they don't even have to do any of the marketing for it. Kids are just getting told, yeah, you got to go to college. It's so easy.
It's a system. I mean, it's a great system. People are gullible. People
Well,
want to
shit,
believe.
also-
We want to believe.
And they
To-
want to ignore the fact that the cost has gone up equally with the push to open up availability through loans.
Yeah.
They want to completely ignore the fact that anytime you do this, you're changing the market incentive to these loans, and at that point in time, it's free money.
Well, also to build on that too, as a kind of subtopic here. I mean, once you if you graduate with your, $40 million piece of paper here, they hit you up for
40,000.
donations.
40
Let's
billion?
chill. I don't know what university you're
What
going
planet
to.
do you live
Yeah,
on, Nate?
flag, right, guys? That's
No,
a flag. It's
man.
hyperbole.
Drink your fucking
You went to
beer.
Harvard for 60 years.
If this were the sports show, I would say hyperboles are fine. But because it is what it is, I'm throwing the
Okay,
flag.
so your
I'm gonna keep track.
$40,000 piece of paper then.
Hey, you forgot to round the decimal 5 times.
Yeah, come on, man.
So your $40,000 piece of paper here, and then they hit you up for more donations after that. I mean, just to
Well,
build on what you guys
That's
have
how they
spoke
used to
so
run.
far.
Those donation things have been coming out before the student loans.
To be
That's
fair,
how they used to run, though, is people would be like, yeah, I got my education at this school. I got my networking through this school. It's why they were thought of as secret organizations, is because that's how they ran, though, is when you got old and had all this
Skull and
money, people are
bones.
pretty charitable. And they
Especially if
give it back
the
to the school, 'cause
athletics are
it's-
doing well and they care about that.
Yeah, but a lot of people at the end of their life, one of the things they want to do is propel life forward. And giving money to a college is a pretty easy sell to those kind of people.
Interesting. What schools did you study about this going on at?
I just listen to a lot of stuff and read a lot, to be honest.
I
That's
mean,
cool. I didn't know
that
about that.
happens
That's
all the time, and then they'll make you a nice little fucking memorial, little bench.
Yeah.
True,
Put
that's
it,
why things are named shit.
put it
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
dude,
what's-
it happens at fucking IU all the
who
goddamn
was that
time, man.
billionaire
They offer
trillionaire?
packages for that stuff. Once you're an alumni, you get things sent over to you. For X amount of dollars, we will put your name on blah blah blah. Okay, if you donate $500, we'll put a plate on one of the benches in fucking
Dude, if I could
campus.
get a- if I
and
could
What
it'll
a
say-
what a stroke of an ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
but
it, or is it, okay, I'm not going to charge at the front end of this as much money, but at the tail end of this, the people that really got success through this, all right, we're going to hit them up for money, and they're covering the front end costs.
And you just hope that they can pronounce your name right in the future.
But it's also there for those middle of the roaders that need to feel okay, this money I wasted on this degree was worth something. So I'll never be on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So let me deposit
It's a that's a total
$275
ego
to put to get my name put on a fucking bench at a Mac school.
I did something. I'm important.
I'm meant to be here. Hi, hey guys, I did this bench. I
And then,
donated, and
yeah.
we got a bench. There's people starving to death, but I got that bench for you, dog.
Or not even that. How
Kevin,
how
I'm gonna
many
donate
people see those
in your
benches?
name.
I see.
How many people watch credits?
Yeah,
at the end
I
of
see
the
those
movie?
benches all the time
That's
around
true.
IU, and I've never met that fucking person. have no idea who they are.
The
So
Kevin
who the
Memorial-
fuck cares?
The
No,
Kevin
It's a
Memorial
total stroke of your
step
ego
at
to say
Toledo.
I'm there.
Yeah.
I got my name on this.
But if you just were like, hey, will you spend $250 on this bench? Most people probably say no. But a bench with a name on it, okay, that bench was built and it wasn't built with student loans. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
That is complete. And I joked about the credits in a movie, but everybody, that's half the reason some people would do shit in a movie for free is I want my name in the credit.
Yeah.
Do we knock them for it? It's okay. Your name's on a brick of a school that literally you spent money for a brick that wasn't worth $300, and it went to building the school's
Yeah.
future. I don't know that it's a stroke of the ego for sure, but I like it. I'm cool with it being there.
Oh,
Excellent business move for the school.
Yeah, I'd rather.
Excellent fucking business move for the school.
But
It allows people to pimp themselves to build the school up for way more of the market cost than what it actually does. You stretch the dough a lot further whenever you get these boosts.
And for the person buying it, you're just marketing your own brand. If you have a brand and you want that brand to be seen by freshmen who make out at the Oval.
Well, look at like the Abercrombies though. Like the only reason they got like their status so far is by putting their name on fucking everything. Not just Abercrombie, but all around Columbus. There's those families, and they really.
My roommate, older roommate, works for
Name dropper.
there.
Joel.
No, not Joel. Steven.
Billy Joel.
Oh, Steven.
You know what though? He hardly ever dresses in that shit though, and he has like a Skrillex haircut, which doesn't make sense for him. But whatever.
It's like in right now, I think. I don't know. This younger generation's freaking me the fuck out. I know I sound like that old guy,
That's
but
good.
I know a kid that's getting ready to be a freshman, and I'm like feeling old as fuck, and I'm like, I don't understand you little bastards.
It gets worse, man.
I know.
I just turned 29, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's fucking scary, man.
Yeah. You start feeling all old.
That's
and
my
shit.
only
You, like,
goal.
can't
That's my
connect
only
to
goal
people
for
in
life. I
college.
know I'm stupid. I know I'm gonna learn a lot of shit throughout the next course of my life. The next 5 years. Like I'm gonna think I was ignorant as fuck right now. That's fine because I probably am.
Yes.
But
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
But
I'm a couple
anyway.
years older than you.
yeah. So where was I going with that? You interrupted me.
Sorry.
Shit.
Flag.
Blonde.
Flag.
Blonde. Blonde.
Yeah, take a drink.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so my life goal is just not to become that old guy that just doesn't know. You know what old guy I'm talking about? That's just walking around and he doesn't know what
The
the
one that
fuck's
hasn't changed
he
his
doesn't-
mind in
yeah,
40 years.
He doesn't know what's going on in the world. He's walking around in the 70s fucking jean jacket and jeans, and like just doesn't have any idea. And which I think, maybe that's fine. Maybe that's what you want. Maybe you just want to be happy and not give a fuck. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
But
I think you're.
I want to try
you're
to
right
stay
on.
connected to the world as much as possible and try to understand what's going on at all points in time, because who knows what kind of innovation we're gonna see. Think of just what we've had in the last 60 years. What can we see in the next 60?
We sent a calculator to the moon.
I remember when the first
With people
iPhone
in
came
it.
out.
We sent a record deep into space.
What did you throw it? Did you
Yeah.
throw it off a cliff?
Yeah,
And
it
Off a
totally
cliff
happened.
upward.
It was,
totally
and then it was
happened
a
15
Bowie
years
album,
ago.
so it just flew out into space on its
Hey,
own.
you know what? I had such great arm strength there. It happened 15 years or so prior to my birth.
You threw it back in time.
That's how I roll.
That is pretty Bowie of you.
But like, as much as everything changes and as quick as it changes, like the one thing that even if you talk to your grandparents, they'll probably have told you this, but nothing really changes. Everything changes, but it's the same struggles. It's the same arguments. It's not even really different characters. half
There's
the
a
time.
phrase for this, exactly what you're saying. It's that there's nothing new underneath the sun.
That's completely fair though.
Yeah, true that.
And that's but we were talking about libertarian earlier, and I just don't get to talk about this very often. But I
Get
think
back
that's
in there.
'Cause you're
the
banned.
fundamental difference between libertarian and Republican Democrat is the libertarian sees that nothing changes. It's the only thing. It's state or not state. It's freedom or not freedom. It's basically you own yourself or you don't, and you can get to that despite God, automation's
I agree with
coming
that.
up, or oh my God, the next now we have cell phones. Everything's different. Is it we're just talking faster? Do we really need?
Okay. I kind of agree with that. The communication exchange that we're seeing right now is ungodly. The amount, you can exchange information so quickly and so rapidly. Napster proved that everything's changed. That
Yes.
totally changed the way the music business operated. That changed an entire economy. Because people said, fuck you, we're sharing this stuff with each other. We're all friends here.
The opposite of this is I was watching Game of Thrones and you see people fucking go 500 fucking miles away to deliver news that X person has been killed. Imagine that,
Oh yeah,
Going
yeah. Just
a week hearing, this person has died, even though
with just through the social
Thrones,
media and
just
stuff.
a little-
What
It's almost like we're almost telepathic at this point because
There's
it's
so
however
much
long it
information
takes
you
you to
don't know
type it
it-
up,
Anything can
you
go
can
viral.
get it out to thousands of people within 30
immediately.
seconds. And that's almost like alien stuff right there.
Yeah, it's only gonna keep advancing. So
So far, it's managed to decentralize markets, bring currency into areas that had no free trade.
Bitcoin.
agreement. Yeah. It's only anytime, because the government hasn't gotten control of that yet.
No, Bitcoin, the Silk
Not
Road. I
just,
mean,
the communication even.
yeah, or yeah, just the. I think the internet and the dark, especially like the invention of the dark web.
Silk Road.
If you know how to
The
work,
dark web. Have
If
you
you-
been there before, Garrett?
I mean, I know my way around. I don't fucking buy anything, it's just simply there to go. Hey, look at this shit. This is crazy.
No, I've never even done that.
Yeah, but
interesting.
anyway,
It'd change your life.
yeah, you.
I've heard that.
But yeah, it's one of those things where like if you actually learn how to use a computer like all the way through and through, really nothing's illegal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that live in fucking
compared-
mansions and buy cars and drugs and all that shit, all with Bitcoin,
Yeah.
all with a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's illegal?
It's a really decentralizing force, though. It's helped. You don't have to have a physical cartel anymore to operate that, but you don't
No.
have to have a physical cartel telling us that we can't broadcast anymore.
No.
There's not people with guns saying, "Hey, you guys are broadcasting on frequencies you're not allowed on."
Yeah,
I've always
Literally,
thought.
if we were doing this show right now, 40 years ago, that's literally what would have happened because we would have had to do it over fucking airwaves that are regulated by a mafia or the government, whatever you want to call it.
Some sort of overriding Big Brother.
Yeah, but that's what I like about it is it's something they haven't been able to like completely get their hands around. They're trying with the what's the open web or
Yeah.
dark web.
they're
Yeah.
trying no, not the dark web. What's the legislation called?
Net neutrality.
Net
Yeah, they're trying to
neutrality,
push
there
that
you
to
go.
start
No,
getting
that
their
relates to a
hands on
different
it.
thing, though.
Not exactly. It doesn't because that is there. They've been trying for a while, and they tried when the dark web was getting hot to do it then to start regulating the internet.
The net
And right now
neutrality
they
is
don't-
more for the big guys, though.
The net neutrality
But-
is legislation by the big guys. The net neutrality is legislation by the big guys to say we don't want to pay more to stream. We want everybody else to help cover that cost. It's literally
Right.
Netflix saying
It
that
was
me and
spreading it out a
Kevin
little bit.
should have to pay more for the internet because they're using more internet. It's literally, and they want to legislate it. But once they get legislation in there, they get to start regulating bandwidth allotments per price.
And then
start-
it'll be pay to play, and it'll be the same thing like with cable, where in the 80s there were 84 different companies that were putting television programming out there, and now there are 6. And
You're-
that
I
same
mean-
thing will eventually happen to the internet if you do things like this.
You're not
And-
wrong.
Yeah.
It's what they did to take.
And
the
that's
airwaves,
the
though.
way to censor is like, okay, well, if 6 companies are in control, they'll just buy up the things
I
that are
don't thi-
popular, and then
But
they'll
I don't
say,
think there's
hey,
any way they're gonna reel this back in.
Well,
I mean,
they
they're
haven't pushed it all the way through yet. And the big fight, the nice thing about this fight is that there's big money on both sides. Because on the other end of it, you have the internet companies. They're
Yeah.
like the cost to lay down line right now, if they want to upgrade their network to fiber optic or something like that, is so high because of all the regulations. They don't want another fucking headache. And they don't.
They'd
want
rather
the
keep the
cost-
status quo.
Yeah, because their price wars are really tight right now.
The
between each other.
Xfinities of the world.
Exactly. Ask Google how hard it is to lay a mile. of
The
fiber.
Time Warners of the world.
Well, Time Warner's gone now. because-
Spectrum.
Well, and that's more money put together to fight this kind of shit. though.
Comcast.
And it's kind of cool. I hate the fact that they're even able to fight about it.
Spectrum.
But yeah, no. What they did with the radio stations was the big thing was we can't
Smithville
we need to make
Fiber.
sure radio stations can have a broadcast and they're not fighting each other or overlaying each other. And radio stations were working this out on their own anyway. It was just who had basically the market to boost the transponders to cover an area, that kind of thing. And they used that argument that we need this, sold it to people who didn't even listen to the radio, and then they got their hands on it, and then they got to start licensing out the airspace. So they're going to start licensing out the bandwidth. They're going to be like, yeah, this network in this city only can maintain this much bandwidth. It would cost this much to build it up, so we're not going to. So now we're going to license out the bandwidth. So we might be a license A consumer that pays this much for 3 gigabytes of data, and you'll be a licensee. And it's a way the government can start picking up money off of it without ever having to provide the product.
See, man, I know it's in, but I think even if this stuff starts passing, I think you'll see it come out so fast or such a revolt against it. I think the internet.
Net neutrality, though. It's winning in amongst popular opinion. Net neutrality is.
I don't know, man. I think until it starts happening,
Yeah.
until people start losing these freedoms, because we're too informed with the internet. I mean, the internet is way different than radio or television. Those were 2 monumental things. The internet's a whole monster. The internet is the globe connected.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're gonna be able to see it. I don't know. I just don't fucking
It's still
see
a
it.
waterline, though. It's
I
still
I
a
think once it starts going away, once you start taking those things away, let's say it goes through that way. Let's say they start passing some of these things. I think the revolt you see against that is fucking monstrous. Because I don't think people we have it fucking amazing right now.
People don't even revolt about a smoking ban.
You're right.
Like, people don't revolt the fact that we have more people in prisons right now than any other country in the world.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I
don't
mean,
know
you're
people
right.
Gonna revolt about their
Because
internet
we're
going
fat
up.
and we got cable. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
We're just eating fucking McDonald's, drinking Coke.
basically. It's probably getting time to where you guys gotta to get ready for Red Hot Chili Peppers, huh?
Yeah.
Probably. It's about that time.
Name
like
dropper.
But shit, we should wait till he gets back to wrap
Kevin
up.
can fuck off
Kevin
because
can't-
he's Randy.
Where do you think I just was?
Well, fucking Randy over there.
I was out there. I was taking my stroke break.
So basically, the libertarians have deduced that we're all fucked. So
I have hope.
you have hope.
Haven't tried to
You
take
just
hope
shut
out
me
of me
down on
before.
hope. I was trying to be on the good side.
Depends
no, my
on the
hope
ho-
is that there's
I'm
enough
the
people on
hopeless
other
one.
end of it and enough
That it'll
others on
fight
the
it?
other end. Yeah, that's my biggest hope is that there's enough people on the other side of it.
All right, I can get
And they
behind
haven't even
that.
brought
Maybe
out-
that's my glimmer of hope that I was trying to get
The
with.
cable companies haven't hit the networks yet either. The cable companies aren't on Fox News saying, "Hey, we're going to increase your rates if this happens." We don't have a choice.
RJ, we should
Yeah,
have a conversation sometime about the Indiana not net neutrality, the solar bill they put through, net metering, basically.
Is that where like you have to be connected to the grid even if you're solar powered?
Well,
could be the-
basically, you have to. A lot of people have said you have to sell your solar power to the utilities for a low rate, and then have to buy it back after it's raised.
Doesn't
Obviously,
surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all.
You should post an
Cocksuckers.
article about it on BDG Bloomington.
I don't
you
know
know
if
what? I'm gonna go home later, later, and maybe do that.
Here's what, Nate. I want you to do this. You can sell your power to the power company right now.
I don't have any power, so
You don't have any power.
no.
You live in a box.
Not with that attitude.
Damn it. But no, you can already. That's funny that they're doing that because you can already sell like power to the power company. If you put like build a generator in your house, plug it into the outlet, it'll push power back into the grid, and you'll get a credit on your bill.
Yep.
Or if you have the solar panels. But they do that with the water company too, and they'll claim it's for like humanitarian or sanitation reasons where you have to be connected to.
Well, that'd be lovely
Public
because the water rates went up in Bloomington, and it's been
Yeah,
infuriating.
the only way to around that is a well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well water.
God is here.
Yeah, well, where I live, I can't build a well,
Yeah.
so.
So then you're really kind of fucked.
Again, not with that attitude.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? There's an HOA, so, and plus since I rent, if I were to build a well, it would not go back on me, but it would go back on my landlord,
All the more
and
reason
then
to
it
do
would eventually cause way too many problems for me.
And then
I'm
there
s-
would be a shit storm, is what you're saying.
Basically. Very roundabout way to getting to shitstorm.
I think we need to take an Uber. But
Yep.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
rock and roll.
showtime for you guys.
RHCP, baby.
It's been
I
fun.
hope
I
I
gotta
did
take
that
a
right.
piss first, man.
Right on. You guys can check us out on baddinnerguest.blogspot.com or at baddinnerguest on Twitter. Nate is at SPP Investigates.
Or Ben Ham and Turkey.
At 60 Grit Radio for me. Kevin.
At my boy Kev, the handle you hate to type in.
I'm at Dennis and Garrett on Twitter. 2 R's, 2 T's, and Garrett.
I'm at Beery Plox. That's BIERY Plox 33. Beery Plox 33.
He apparently was born 30 years too early.
Illuminati. And on that note, we're gonna bounce on out of here. Anybody get a final goodbye? Sing him a
Peace
song.
out, hombres.
Peace.